Okay, welcome everybody to Abraxas Precipice, where I, John Boltina, run the Expanse role-playing game forever. 3 years now, this campaign. Okay, but tonight's a special game, not just because we're kicking off phase 6 of this campaign, my self-indulgence and such, but also because we're playing for World Central Kitchen! Hey, let's give them a hand, yay! They're a great charity, guys. They feed people all over the world. They came to my community last year and fed people during when we had flooding here in the area. Some of my colleagues, some people I work with in town. They just do good work. There's a great documentary on Netflix called We Feed People. I think it's on Netflix. Called We Feed People. I highly recommend it if you haven't watched it. Just good insight into their logistics and their mission and everything. And I have a lot of respect for them. But that is not all tonight. I have an all special guest cast. And because we're in the Brady Bunch boxes here, I'm gonna go clockwise. I'll go clockwise tonight. And we're gonna start, I know how to point. We're gonna start with to my, I can't tell directions. I'm looking like trying to like do multiple dimensions here, and it's all non-Euclidean now that I'm looking at the screen over here and you guys are here. It's really disorienting. I'll never do that again. But start with our good friend here, Marcy. Marcy, why don't you tell the people who you are, what you do, and where they can find you?
Hi, everyone. My name is Marcy Brown. I use the she, her series of pronouns, and I am the lead storyteller and coordinator for the Gaming for Justice program through the Mycelium Youth Network. To find out more about what we do, we're a climate justice education that works mostly with like nonprofit that works with youth, and you can find us at Mycelium Youth Network across different platforms. Mycelium Youth on Instagram.
Oh, awesome, excellent. All right, and then moving around the clock here, we have Anne.
Hello, I am Anne the Gnome, or Gnome Anne across the internet. I am a TTRPG creator and mushroom enthusiast, which makes sense if you know me and sounds weird if you don't. You can find me here on Twitch, where I stream a lot of TTRPG games, and I'm usually like the forever GM, so this is like one of the times I actually get to be a player, so thank you so much for having me.
100%. No, I've been admiring your work, and I'm glad you agreed to this. And once again, somehow people out there in the land, I convince people to play with me, and the first 3 letters of convince is con. So, all right. Next up, returning champion, Jesse.
Hi. Yes. So now my brain is just spiraling on that con thing, because I just worked out the other day that covenant and coven have the same root, and then I spent a little while spinning out about that. So now I'm like, con, does that fit in there? Anyway, I'm Jesse Christensen. I'm an astrophysicist at Caltech. I hunt for planets around other stars. When I'm not doing that, I really love sci-fi and fantasy, in particular The Expanse. So John has very graciously let me come on this game a few times now and let me live out those fantasies. So thank you very much for having me. I'm glad to be here.
Awesome. And our other returning champion, who I think you're tied now with Josh for the most guest appearances, is Simraya. Simraya, tell us who you are, what you do, and where we can find you.
Hello, I'm Simria. I'm an undergrad student at UC Merced. I currently study a fungal pathogen called Candida albicans, and we study the host pathogen interactions with these little worms called planaria. Super interesting. I love to geek out about it. I also have started using CRISPR to start making a gene knockout library of this same pathogen. I have so much I could talk about, but I'll hold back. I'm super excited to be with you again, everyone's favorite mad scientist. So thank you for having me again, and I am super excited.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And then next up, another person I'm getting to play with for the first time, but I've been admiring their work as I called you the premier Fallout role-playing game master, which seriously, I think you are. I'm pretty sure you are. But we have April. April, tell us who you are. I guess I told people what you do, but tell us more about what you do.
Yes. No, it's cool. Yeah. No, I'm April Hill. I am the community manager for Modifius Entertainment. We make games like Star Trek Adventures, Fallout, the role-playing game, which is obviously my favorite. Dune, Adventures in the Imperium. We also make war games like Fallout Factions and the Elder Scrolls Call to Arms and board games and card games and all kinds of stuff like that. But yeah, I usually run Fallout on the Mid-Feast channel Monday nights. And we are in the middle of a campaign using the Winter of Adam campaign book, which is pretty fun. So yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. All right. So we got a few donations, and awesome. Thank you so much, everybody that's already donated. Jessie is ensuring that her character survives, as always, through money. And World Central Kitchen appreciates that. But speaking of that, hey, once again, there's the link to donate. You can go there, you can donate, you can affect the outcome of the game, you can give some re-rolls. You can get people to find stuff, all that kind of cool stuff. But we also have some special things. Up there, we got some stuff from Green Ronin Publishing. So if you want to get a set of the Expanse role-playing game books through PDF, you can donate and get those. If you want to play a game with you and your friends and this guy here, there's a donation amount for that. So I'll run a private game with Expanse for you all. But one of the highlights of today was our good friends at Nacelle, which they're a toy company. They do a lot of other stuff too. But their CEO, Brian's a big toy geek. He's a lot of fun to talk to, but they're doing the Expanse action figures, and they were kind enough to send me one of the prototypes of the Expanse, the Rothanantes flight deck chairs. So this was scanned and then printed directly off of the props from the show, and it is very cool. They're coming out in a few months, but this is a little prototype. This one was actually used at their WonderCon panel, as you can see here. So it has the date of when it was printed. But that is up for grabs. That will go live on the Tiltify at 6:15. So I'm sorry, you guys have to watch me a little bit at least. I gotcha. All right. At least I get 15 minutes into my Twitch stream here. But aside from that, you guys ready to do this thing?
Let's do it.
All right, awesome. All right, I'm gonna run the opening credits here, and we will be right back in a minute with Abraxas Precipice, the premiere of Marduk Bowed. All right. On the planet Mundos, or as it's officially known by the UN Charter, Aethra 2, two colonies exist. One is Mason's Haven, the other is Star's Edge. Mason's Haven is a ragtag group of exiles from Mars that have collectively come together to somehow create a society on the frontier, humanity's new frontier on these planets far away, getting away from the issues back in the Sol system. And they got a great hydroponic system. They're doing really well in this alien world. The other one is Star's Edge, a Earth-based R&D company that's owned by one Sebastian Pope, who's got kind of a nefarious back on Earth kind of reputation, but no one's going back to Earth at least anytime soon. The ring gates that lead to these different solar systems unfortunately have been quote unquote closed by the Free Navy, and there's a war going on the other side. And the last notice you got was that if you cross through the gate, you will be shot on. Everybody will be shot on sight. And so no one's really crossing over and taking the risk going back through. And that's been going on for about a year now. However, though, your colony's doing pretty good. Food's plentiful. Energy's not too bad on the surface. The main issue is, in the long term, is that having fusion reaction material in the long term is going to be kind of hard to make. But resources are being shared, and people are starting to get back together. But about 4 months ago, there was a major excursion beneath the surface of Mundos, collectively done by both Star's Edge and Mason's Haven, where the crew of the Sinclair, along with a security team from Star's Edge went down to go try to solve an issue going on in the jungle on the other side of the planet, where parts of it were basically turning to sludge. And that jungle is responsible for, well, the oxygen production of the planet. So, little important, food becomes very, not such a concern when oxygen becomes a concern on a planetary scale. So they went down there to help solve it. Unfortunately, of the I think 9 people that went in, only 3 came out. Most of the Sinclair crew was lost, and there was some sort of massive rumbling underground, some sort of seismic shift beneath the surface that everybody on the planet felt. The irony being is that there are no tectonic plates on this planet. So that's weird. And it's come to it's been a lot of kind of speculation. Both the 2 colonies blame each other for the loss of it. There's some unrest here, but in the spirit of scientific community, a scientific conference of sort has been called at Star's Edge's base. And their base, unlike Mason's Haven, which is basically like a series of, it looks like a bunch of portables. That's pretty much what it is. It's a bunch of like portables around, kind of making streets and everything, very frontierish. Star's Edge is more of like a series of like pods or interconnected by like tubes and such, and they keep a very strict quarantine from the outside world. They keep themselves very isolated, very scientifically sound, we'll say. But attending this conference are 6 individuals total. From Mason's Haven, we have, is it Kine or Keen?
We'll say, just make it rhyme with the inspiration. We'll just say Kane.
Kane, okay, Kane Cobb. We also have Medea Holtz, and we have Lanny or Lonnie. Is it Lonnie?
Lonnie.
Sorry, my tattoo artist name is Laney. It's like throwing me off. Lonnie Valisa, representing Mason's Haven interest here at this kind of conference, hoping to find some sort of collaboration. From Star's Edge, we have their astrodynamicist, one Dr. Mel Holston, one of their top R&D people. In addition, we have, as it was described to me, and forgive me if I misquote this, Anne, the forever grad student, Avery Rogers.
Yes, that's correct.
Forever grad student. You are cut off from your university, so yeah, you don't know your status if the school's even still there.
It's like a real PhD.
Like a real PhD, yeah.
This is great field experience. It's going to add a lot to my dissertation, I think.
They would get out of giving me that degree by saying that a meteor fell on our school. Okay. That seems like them. And in addition, we have one more member from Star's Edge, one Dieter Van Kauer, who is the personal assistant to Sebastian Pope himself. The room you're in, you guys have gone through quarantine, everything being escorted in. The room you're in it's for those of you from Mason's Haven, you're pretty sure they just fabricated a bunch of tables and chairs and put them in a storage room and wiped it down. Those of you from Star's Edge know that they fabricated a bunch of chairs and tables and put them in a storage room. But there is a nice little spread. There's some food here. There's some drink. There's a nice little table with a nice little holo projector. People are kind of coming in, talking here a little bit. But as you do, Dieter gets up and says, shall we begin?
Mel's looking at the food.
All right. And
She's not in space. She could be hungry.
Hey, hunger follows you everywhere. Yeah, and there's like there's some of your guys' like lab grown foods and everything too. You guys do have like lab grown meat. You guys don't eat that very often, but occasionally have that. There's also there's definitely a plate of fungal curds people seem to enjoy, along with KP's gonna kill me for this. There's a fungal curd tikka masala, along with tortillas. To wrap them up and eat them a la Belter style. So,
Mel's going for the meat.
Right,
Lab-grown meat. No fungal curds, please.
All right. So you go for some of the lab-grown meat, and it tastes how you expect it to taste. I don't know what that is, but I'll leave that up to your imagination. And you guys see Dieter says, kind of looks over and sees Mel going for the food, and knowing that Mel is their head scientist, but it's kind of like, all right, she's gonna do that. Okay. What about the delegation from Mason's Haven?
Medea doesn't trust anything. She touches nothing.
You sit there with your arms like this?
She's like,
Okay.
she's not happy to be here. She
All right.
doesn't want anything to do with Star's Edge, Pope.
These guys? Okay.
Not happy.
Okay. What about Kane?
Oh, I'm going and I'm taste testing everything because I've got to make sure that it's safe for everybody else to eat. Obviously, I like being security. That's part of my job is I've got to test the food too. I mean, it might not be in the description, but it is in my description.
The job is what you make it.
Yeah.
Okay. So Mel, you're standing there, this Martian, this fairly good-sized Martian with would we say that Kane has a little bit of some pythons?
Oh, yeah.
And so you see this large Martian standing there. I will say that they did have you check your weapons at the door. But
you can't check these weapons.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to ask: Is this an Americanism? What are pythons? Because it wasn't.
Oh, it's an old thing Hulk Hogan used to say about his 24-inch pythons, which were his arms. So these are the pythons.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Very confused.
Sorry.
Thank you. Good clarification.
No, I appreciate it. You're still new to the whole American thing. I get it.
Yes.
Sorry.
Please keep going.
But they didn't have that on the test. All right.
Hulk Hogan wasn't there?
Yeah, you're in, brother. All right, but April. So King, you kind of stand there next to Mel, and Mel's trying the food and everything like that too, and you try everything. It's all pretty good. You've had some of this stuff before, like as you've traveled the belt and everything. This is like close proximity. You do note that the tikka masala is overly spicy for the gravity that you're in. It should have less spice for this gravity.
But that's fine because I love a good spice. It's in my DNA, being from where I'm from, so it's fine.
No.
I don't mind it. I worry for everybody else. I warn everyone else. Hey, you might not want this heat, but I'm gonna tear it up.
Yes, absolutely. What about our good friends Avery and Lonnie?
Avery I'm assuming they have like a tablet or something.
Yeah,
they are
a data pad,
furiously taking notes. Yeah, a data pad. They're taking notes. To be clear, nothing has happened. It is unclear what they are doing with the notes, but like any good grad student, they are also saddled up to the food and just trying to get some of that too while they're going. I'm sure they actually have plenty of food. It's just instinct at this point.
Yes, 100%. It takes a long time for that to go away.
Yeah.
Part of the reason Mel is eating is that residual grad student free food. Like, there's free food, I'm going to eat it now. My lizard brain is like, you might not get free food again.
But doing that thing where it's like quickly swapping between like stylus and food and like accidentally grabbing, like, putting the stylus in the mouth by accident. All right.
And
I feel like Medea's watching this whole interaction just with like the most judgmental look she could possibly muster. Like, this is my delegation. This is who I'm working with, really?
A bunch of hungry hippos.
Yeah. This is promising. Really promising.
Lonnie, are you going to go for the food? Or are you going to sit, stand, talk to Dieter? What do you want to do in the room here?
Oh, I'm kind of curious. Did Star's Edge grow anything like hydroponic? Is there anything like in the way of fresh vegetables here, or is that Mason's Haven?
They don't have any vegetables here, but they do have fungal stuff.
I was gonna say you're gonna eat fungal curds and you're gonna like it.
So they're probably not growing those hydroponically. Those are actually pretty easy to grow anywhere. And so like they could be growing on the side of their fusion reactor. I mean, you don't know where they're growing them, but the meat's definitely not comes from a live animal. It's definitely like background. You know for a fact that they have no like apple or anything here.
As a belter, I have really nothing bad to say about anyone's methods of growing food as long as it's food. But I'm going to, I note Medea's kind of visible frustration, and I'm going to sit next to her and say, like, Oye, Medea, this planet's big enough for all of us. We just have to work with them. We might not like it, but it's how we survive.
No, we survive by improvising and making do with what Star's Edge doesn't give us, because they don't care about the smaller people. They want money and they're cruel to people. This is not
I'm going to talk a bit louder and be like, Kane, do you like the meat? How do you like it? I mean, I heard you like the spicy, but the meat,
Yeah,
like
so
it?
as I was saying, Lonnie, Star's Edge is just like needlessly
Isn't it
cruel and
delicious?
mindless,
How do
and
you
they're
like
really
it?
just
Do you
another
prefer
big
the
corporation who just
hydroponically grown
doesn't
stuff?
care about anything but its money making. I mean, come on, have you seen Pope?
I'm not into spicy food myself.
I'm not saying that what they're doing is bad. I'm just saying I would like to leave this meeting alive, along with everyone else.
Well, I've already tested all the food. You're good to eat it. Like if you're worried about getting poisoned from the food, it's fine. Just stay away from the curry.
You know, Kane, that was my main concern.
I mean, if you're really that worried that Star's Edge is going to poison you, should we really even be doing business with them? I mean, like, there's just a lot of distrust already here. This really feels like there's just not a good foundation.
That's why we're here. That's why we're here. To build trust. To build bridges.
I've tried that before.
I'm done. My bridge building days are done. I would just prefer to just like keep people safe, but not building stuff. That's all right.
Thank you, Kane.
Dieter hears you say that. He says, "This is an excellent place to start. I think we can start on a commonality to keep people safe. Wouldn't you all agree?"
Whatever.
Yes.
Great. Well, why don't we all take a seat around the table, and I can go ahead and fire up the display, and we can talk a little bit about what we know, what we don't know, what we want to know, and try to find some way to come together by the end of this, and hopefully have some sort of joint effort that can be an outstanding success for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Awesome.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
success for you guys, right? Because you're the ones hiding stuff and hurting people, and we're just trying to survive and do good by our people.
Mm-hmm.
So what commonality is there between that? Because I think we have really different priorities, actually.
Well, this is an excellent place to start, Dr. Holtz. Right now, currently, we have our own food stores. We're doing quite well, but Mason's Haven has been...
You are doing good, real well.
Exactly, and we've
Can you share this with us when we leave?
Well, we've been trading with some.
I'll start making doggy bags.
Yeah, everyone really. He said, well, we've been trading with you with Mason's Haven for the last few months in food, in terms of that, like you guys grow food and you have some excess and it comes our way and such. And we are happy to trade back with materials, instruments, tools. I know that you've people. Well, we don't.
Oh yeah.
So to be clear, like Mason's Haven outnumbers Star's Edge almost 3-1.
Oh, but they're using our people, aren't they?
For what?
Well, if it's my jurisdiction to speak right now, I'm pretty sure they're using illegal experiments, taking our people.
Well, no, we haven't taken any of your people. If you're speaking of the gravity drug debacle years back, that was more that we had an experimental drug that we were willing to allow your Belchers and your Martians to use to help acclimate to the gravity faster. And you knew full well it was an experimental drug that would accelerate. We said we had decent. But
you targeted all of our prison workers and all of our people who weren't in a position to say no, because anything was better than the conditions they were living in. So was it really morally correct for you to do all of that? Because from what I've seen, Star's Edge really isn't concerned with the morality of all of their experiments. Which is crazy coming from me. Like, let's be honest. I fully acknowledge that.
We're well aware of your past, Miss Holtz. I
think it's Dr. Holtz.
Thank you.
I think we should give everybody their proper titles.
Dr. Holtz. We're well
if
aware
we're trying to find common ground.
No, absolutely, and Dr. Holston here is 100% right. That was an unfortunate turn of events, and we feel quite sorry about that. But at the same time, your people, a limited number of your people took it. I think it was approximately like 30 doses or so. Only one person had a real problem with it. Then they went off everybody went off the regiment. But it did accelerate the timetable. So as opposed to going over a 6-month regimen of gravity drugs for people to start coming down onto Mason's Haven and helping out with this hydroponic system, it only took a month. And your guys' hydroponic system is online, and I mean, to be honest, riveting. It's an amazing piece.
How many lives are you willing to sacrifice for this sort of advancement? Because frankly, I find that that murder was extremely brutal, and who knows really how many other side effects there were that weren't reported, because once again, prison camp workers, how much do they really have access to?
Once again, we know that the technology for the drugs was derived from Martian, your people's prison camps.
Oh, your people.
Well, you are the Martian. This guy's clearly an Earther. He's kind of a prick, but
Clearly.
His name's Dieter. Okay.
He can be multiple things. He can be a jerk and an Earther.
I know all the above. Fun fact, actually, most of the jerks I know are Earthers in real life.
No way, me too.
Sorry, Sarah.
Are there any other belters besides me?
No, you are the only belter.
So yeah. I'm like 6.5 feet tall, just like.
Yeah. No, yeah, you stick out a bit there.
Down at the table, a head above everyone else.
Yeah, you have to like kind of sit with your knees almost in your chest when you sit in the chair. I think it's kind of awkward. Yeah, you have to kind of sit the chair back from the table and everything.
I'm bad at sitting in chairs in real life.
But this is in the past, and that was in different circumstances entirely, Medea. When prior to this whole Free Navy conflict and having Marco and Naros, killing however many billions of people on the other side, I don't know what to tell you about any of that. Your people entered in it completely understanding that there was potential side effects, but how could we have seen the dramatic element of it occurring and unfolding? But it sounds like your people handled it well, and we deeply appreciate that, and we're sorry for the way it went.
Whatever. Clearly, you don't hold the same priorities as I do when it comes to my people. So let's get this over with. Whatever.
So, why don't we just talk about the big issue, this rumble under the planet, and the loss of our respective people, to apparently have.
How did you not use rumble in the jungle right there? It was literally there's a jungle, right there.
Someone has to donate more for. They have to have the number of puns allowed.
Someone donate money to make John say rumble in the jungle.
And by the way, we're only $60 from our goal of $500, so we're doing quite well. Someone snagged the chair, so it's going to go to a good home.
Oh man, I was so busy on this, I didn't get the chair.
All right, but yeah, he says, well, look, I think we look back at this. We both lost people, and these fissures that have opened up around the planet have been interesting. It seems that the planet's trying to heal itself, and that's a success that we've had. Now, it may have cost some people, but it probably saved all our lives in terms of keeping the oxygen production on the planet, for God's sake. So I think we can build off of that. This guy keeps on trying to say, I'm trying to build off commonality and common goals, and Medea is clearly not having that, which is fine. What about you, Lonnie? I mean, you're the negotiator here. This guy seems like he's read a book or two.
I'm just glad that Medea is kind of speaking what's on my personal mind so that I don't have to say it out loud.
She's your bulldog. Gotcha.
So I'm not.
He always says it's on her mind.
I'm not going to pull her back, but I've been kind of waiting for a new direction in conversation. Just kind of I know that it might be a little bit healthier for her to get this out now so that we can focus, just redirect the energy towards a planet-wide problem. But I do. I'm just very silently agreeing with what Medea's saying. So I'm not going to pull her back.
So
can I try? I have an attempt to find some common ground, Medea.
Love it.
Can the common ground be hating Sebastian Hope? Because I think that
so
is
down.
Common. I think that's common here, and I've carried a lot of guilt over the last 6 months about what happened with the protomolecule, and I've worked my ass off to try and help us solve this problem, and I'm really unhappy that I was put in that position, and that sucks, and that was really frustrating. And I think now there's more problems to solve, and I can't do it all myself. I've tried really hard for 6 months, and I need you guys to help me move forward, and I hope you want to help. I hope you want to work together. I hope you want to solve the problem.
Holson.
But I can't make you do that, though.
It sounds like your talents and experience are wasted at Star's Edge, frankly. And honestly, at Mason's Haven, we would appreciate everything you do for us. You'd have a full team of scientists, myself included, there to back you up with no hesitation and no need for a peace conference.
I'm here.
You are here, Rogers. You are.
Dr. Holston already has a scientist to back her up. I'm here.
Yeah, so how's that going?
Rogers is doing great.
Yeah, it's going great.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Okay.
Speaking of things going great,
And
things
well,
on our
actually,
planet are not. So,
is this what? Sorry, one more time.
speaking of things that are going great, things on our planet are not. So,
Absolutely, there's some definite stability issues here and some worries about the future of the planet, and we have many to talk about. Honestly, the one that's the most mind-boggling, and I'm glad to have Dr. Holston here, is the what we've dubbed the Holston configuration.
You guys don't need to call it that. That makes it weird for me.
The configuration.
You can call it the Rogers configuration if you want. The name, it's available. It's a common name. It's fine.
We'll take that under advisement, Rogers.
So, but as we've known, the planet has a strange orbit. It's locked with its gravity tether. The moons do weird stuff. They're clearly artificial. And Dr. Holston has been working on that level quite a bit to get a better understanding of what the ramifications of this are and what even the purpose of re-engineering an entire, almost half a solar system to have a single planet be able to move in such a way.
Yeah, have you guys been monitoring the moons? They're wild. It's bananas. I don't understand. Do you guys have any information?
Not my jurisdiction, unfortunately. It's not my specialty.
Well, it's
I don't
almost
know what
like
the
they
neighbors
turned
are.
on at some point. Like they got hotter. They're able to like manipulate this planet, like move it. I mean, I don't understand it. All I've done is work on this for 6 months, and it's not making any sense.
Yes. Dieter
Clearly, the builders left something behind, but I don't know what.
Dieter says, "Well, we can bring up the animation if you want to, Dr. Holston. He's got like a whole little like display you can bring up."
Yeah.
Right, so he brings up the model. So a model of the solar system comes up on the middle of the table. You can see the planets here, and it zooms in on like basically the 3 inner planets with the sun, and you can see the one that's labeled Aethra 2. Those you also call it Moondos, but there's kind of a debate of what to call it. And you can see the 2 moons on it are orbiting, and they orbit at a weird angle. So instead of orbiting in line with like the elliptical, they orbit it like this like kind of angle like this and go around like that way. And you guys know that there's a gravity tether. So there's like this like basically borderline invisible little line that holds the planet in tidal lock, essentially. And what's weird though is that anything that touches that seems to get just like shredded. It just cuts it in half. It just tears it up pretty quickly. But what was noticed there's been several kind of weird movements of Aethra 2. One of them was that as it went to go, Jesse, because you know the words, as it to eclipse the other planet, like the other planet's about to like they're gonna have the same, they're gonna line up in the elliptical.
Yeah, as the planets got into syzygy, where they were all the 3 were lined up.
The Aethra kind of, instead of going like through this planet and cutting it in half, decided to kind of go up and over it.
I don't know if I can explain to you how strange that is. The planet literally wobbled out of the way of the other planet. That's not physics.
Is it made of like magnets or something? Is that a thing?
Thank you, Kane.
You're welcome. I mean, like if somebody didn't look into that, that would be my best guess.
Right.
And
Partly I'm laughing because every time anyone in the history of science has given a talk, someo's been like, but what about magnets? That's the standard question. Did you think about magnets?
it's too real. It's too real.
Too real, Kane.
The and during that time you can see that on the
Hopefully Rogers is writing down magnets.
Actually considered magnets, so I'm gonna actually have to run that through my computations. What if it is the magnet? What if they're all magnets?
Yeah, sometimes really not smart people can have really bright ideas. Sometimes.
The other point of note too is that this also shows that the 2 moons heated up slightly when this occurred and then cooled back down almost immediately, indicating they became active during this thing. So thus why Mel thinks they're responsible for doing it. There's some sort of control mechanism.
I feel like I'm going crazy, but that is what I think happened. I feel like the moons turned on, affected the planet, and then turned off again. Which is not, I'm an astrodynamicist, damn it. I believe in physics and science. I don't believe in magic.
Dr. Holson, I understand. I do.
Dieter sees that. Lonnie, please.
I thought for a second I might have misheard. Did you say 2 of the moons were artificial? Or
yes,
was that...
this is not uncommon amongst some of the builder colonized planets. We know that Illith at one point had, I believe, 10 or so artificial moons that were, as theorized, some sort of safety mechanism.
Like a Dyson sphere?
No,
type?
Like it has equilateral 10 moons around it.
Oh, okay.
No, they didn't go that route. They're smarter than Dyson spheres, I'll say that. But yeah,
they have 10 moons around the planet, all equidistant from each other.
Yeah,
they're all like evenly spaced out.
It's like a ring of planets.
Yeah. Instead of having a ring, they have like bling. They have like a necklace of planets. But yeah, but this one just has a 2, and they are both artificial as looked at. We'll say they're two imperfectly synced. There's too many coincidences with them. But so Dieter he's like, yeah. So well, Dr. Holson's working on how this works. Our question is, why would they do this? Why have the planet able to move in such a way? To what effect?
Dr. Holson and Medea doesn't even address Dieter. She pretends like he doesn't exist, frankly.
He understands.
So she's gonna turn back to Mel. She's like, Dr. Holson, are you aware of my discovery of proteins on what planet was it?
Eos.
On Eos.
The next planet out.
Right.
Yeah, of course. Super important.
Okay.
I mean, tell me more. Like, how did you feel?
Well,
now she's going to do geeky science stuff. Tell me.
I would love to tell you more, except us on Mason Edge, or Mason Paven, are not as privileged as you scientists at Star's Edge. And I do not have the proper funding or access to technology that I need to fully analyze these proteins. She's a little ashamed to have to ask for help because, like, come on. But with your help and our working together, I suppose, I would like to use or borrow your technology to analyze these proteins because I feel as if they may have a connection to these moons. There was some weird effects on Eos. There was a lot of different exploding things and just crazy wild science shit happening. And
this whole system, crazy wild science shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I mean, the whole point of this meeting is to find ways to work together. Yeah, if we can help, let's do it. Let's look at these proteins on Eos. And if it has connected to the moons, I want to know how.
Avery, you heard the term protein strands found on another planet that's not the life planet. Oh, we lost Anne. All right.
She did mention in the chat that there was thunder.
Oh yeah, I can see that. Yeah, all right. I got you guys. We're good. All right. So Avery's kind of thinking through this and writing a lot of notes. We'll say.
Has to go get another notebook full of notes.
She has a little pile going on behind her.
If the proteins taste like this proteins, I wouldn't be helping with the research as well.
Okay, no.
I'm like literally going to try and fist bump Kane to see what she does.
We'll stake it out if you need it. I'm down.
So
no. I'm so sorry. No.
Oh.
Do you know what proteins I'm talking about, Kane? Were you like briefed
like that's
all?
how do you think I get these guns? How did you think I got these guns?
No, sweetheart. No. I'm so sorry for not
this person's
preparing you. I am so sorry. I suppose I was unaware that you wouldn't be briefed before this meeting, but we are not talking about steak.
Oh. Okay.
Yes, I am so sorry.
That's all right.
Kane, your security briefing you've gotten on Medea shows that she can be difficult. That's written in several. The word difficult in the word cloud of her like personnel sheet comes up quite a bit. So just to be clear, this is that's what's happening there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a mix of sarcasm and just like genuine like, what do you mean no one told you?
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
It's like
I mean,
misplaced
she's one of your
anger.
people. Like,
Yeah, it's
I mean,
misplaced
she's one of your
anger.
people. Like,
Yeah, it's misplaced anger.
So what else is happening on our planet besides it moving artificially?
well, there was the seismic activity, and I don't think we know whether that's also something to do with the gravity tether.
I mean, there's so many factors happening right now, and I've been working as hard as I can to constantly combat these like changing fluctuations of levels, but like it's so random, and then the moons are shifting, and it's very hard to keep up, really. It really is. And there's just too many unknowns.
Mhm. So,
So when you say fluxes are shifting, you mean on Eos, or
I mean,
here in the jungle?
Here.
Okay.
Here. Yeah, so besides the protein work that has unfortunately had to be put on hold, I've been developing a lot of different like pharmaceuticals to help ensure the survival from like the gravity and the fluctuations in oxygen and all that other fun stuff.
Dieter says, this is the idea of finding protein strands on another planet is really interesting. Honestly, this would go right up Avery's field, is finding these alien proteins elsewhere besides just, on this planet.
So she isn't just here to be a scribe, because she's just writing so much. I wasn't sure what she was doing.
She's quite
She's
attentive.
an excellent observer.
Yes, exactly. And she might just be thinking about things, so I had to step out there. So
A wonderful graduate student. Exemplary.
A model. Letter of recommendations like you wouldn't believe. Avery, so
Honestly, graduate students get the most work done, to be clear.
whether they like it or not. So yes, do you have any kind of thoughts on this, Avery? Dieter asking you about these proteins on the next planet over.
So sorry, I just out of character did miss what just happened.
Basically,
What is
Medea said like she found protein like strands, like segments of proteins on the next planet over. So even alien life to the alien world, you guys are all basically. So I'm not sure that's something you'd want to pursue or.
What does Rogers think about that?
Yeah, do you have any thoughts on that?
Okay, so Avery's eyes like immediately light up. Do I have any information about these proteins? Like, is this something I've heard about before?
Yes, it
or
is.
this new?
It is.
Okay.
One of the members of Star's Edge was on that mission, and he had complaints, we'll say, about Medea's activity. That basically he was supposed to be a collaborative activity with them, and his name is Kiv Kular. They kept on kind of like pushing him out of the experiments.
We tried to like leave him on the planet and like strand him from the ship a few times.
You tried to.
A few times.
Where the crew was like, we're not going to leave him on the ice planet.
Well, Gaz didn't seem too upset about it. I'm gonna be honest.
Gaz is not senior crew. She's not in command. But yeah, you got information from him, from Kiv there, Avery, that basically there are these proteins that seem, what limited experimentation they got on them, they do match the life forms on this planet to some degree. Like, they seem to have, it's unclear if they originated on that planet or they originated on this planet. But this is the planet that has a little life. The other planet's like an ice ball.
Like a panspermia kind of
Yeah, kind of panspermia thing. The other planet, though, and you also know that Eos is like iced up. It has massive methane deposits in it, like a frozen, like basically lakes of methane underneath the ice and everything.
Pockets
of
like
methane.
Methane pockets.
And it
explode.
This is true. And it also has gravity fluctuations. So like some parts of it, it's about 1.2 Gs most of the places, but it has points where it hits like 1.8. It has like an aberrant gravity like distribution. It's really weird. And it has they haven't fully checked it. It is spherical, but it's unclear how much of that's actually rock versus how much of it's actually ice. So they haven't had a chance to go over it.
And these proteins that we've discovered, like, do
we
know? Like,
whoa.
Well, she's going through she hasn't spoken out loud yet, so it's better.
Okay. My bad. I was gonna say.
So the proteins that what I know about them, what Avery knows about them, is what are they?
They
It's
seem
just
to be
like we
just portions of the kind of like amino acid type stuff, like equivalents you would see in the life forms on this planet, but they were incomplete. And your guy Kib didn't get a good look at it. He only managed to, we'll say, liberate a little bit of the data before he had to leave. But they did get a little bit out there. And he was very defensive about the experience. He was like, I was part of the experiments. I put down some of the sensors. I was on the field, and they just cut me out of the results. So he made, the way he tells it, he talked to the, he did a little social hacking where he got the XO to let him into the data core of the ship.
Medea still hasn't forgiven Wyatt. I'm going to be so honest. She is still salty. She hasn't got her data
He's
ready.
proposed dead, so...
Most hacking is social engineering, it turns out.
Yes.
So, and Kiev was with Star's Edge.
Yeah, he's a member of your, and he was doing a collaborative mission that did not go great.
Okay, so then out loud, Avery will be like, when we discovered these.
Oh my gosh, I'm actually going to stop you right there.
Oh, yes. Hello.
So this is not a we thing because I discovered them, actually.
In collaboration with Star's Edge scientists.
No,
so
because Star's Edge stole my data.
This is
And
where
that's what made it
Dieter stands up and he says, Lonnie, I think you and I can agree that like this isn't going to get us anywhere in terms of.
Oh no, but I want my credit for what I did because
you will get your credit.
that's what Mason's.
Medea, like
that's why we have et al.'s.
Yes.
So
I'm going to be like Rogers. Thank you. Can you write down something now, please? She's going to write something.
Play a game of Hangman.
I have some notes actually. Yes,
yeah,
I do.
you can.
Thank you, Rogers.
Keep doodling. Before we continue, I do want to clarify those were my proteins that I discovered, and it's my research that Kiv stole.
Dieter says, look, we've made a note of your concerns, and by all means, we want to address this, and we want to give credit where credit's due. And Medea, by all means, I believe it'd be appropriate to have your name first on any kind of research that comes out of this, along with a majority stake in any kind of research that goes with this. We're totally willing.
I will have Dr. Holson's name on my papers because Dr. Holson is going to help me with the analyses, but Star's Edge is not getting this.
Okay, yeah. He's like, yeah, sure. You want our astrodynamicist to look at protein strands from alien organisms? Oh, he's like, sure.
There you go.
Yes.
I want to find out what the moon connection is. If we need to look at protein, if we need to look at sludge on another planet, I'll look at sludge on another planet. Were the moons involved? I don't know.
So
Peter, you can't close doors before we've even looked through them.
I want to make sure we can keep on moving through this process, and I want to hear more from what else we can do and what else we know and what we want to work on here. This one project's great, don't get me wrong, but I want to hear a little bit more about what else we might be working on or want to know more about or kind of just discover. So, and I'd like to hear, Kane, you're on the streets of Mason's Haven. You're someone that sees the people and understands them. What kind of stuff is going on in your head that Star's Edge could help with or make more secure for you all? Honestly, I'd love to hear some of your insights on dealing with the local fauna analogs, the coyotes. We've seen them around here once in a while. We were kind of curious how Mason's Haven's dealt with them appropriately. But anything you have to offer, we'd love to hear it from you.
Yeah, I would like to offer you a chance to explain why you set off a bomb in that temple.
Yeah. Listen, this is not information.
This is an open place for you to discuss it, and you're safe here. You can go ahead and tell us all why you did it.
Kane has a great point because I lost the closest things I had to friends, frankly.
See, yeah, we lost a lot of our people.
We lost our head of security, Merrick Case, great man. One of our other people died down there too. So yeah, we all lost people. Well, let me talk about that. And Dr. Holson and Dr. Roger, our candidate Rogers here.
Soon to be Dr. Rogers. When the gates are open.
They're not privy to that information, and I am willing to go on the record and tell them what happened. So, in doing the mission, we sent a team of 3 of our security guards in our most advanced gear of high-end weapons, ready to go. They were to document and to map out the underground ruins of the alien builders. It's very exhaustive. As Dr. Holston can tell you, we suspect that they've replaced close to 40 to 60% of the planet's mass with their technology, which we also think is also probably tied to this moons and moving the planet around. It's a whole mess. But the threats of the protomolecule down there that we do take responsibility for, we also want to take responsibility for ending.
I knew it. That's all I needed. I needed you just to say that you were responsible for it, and you heard that, right?
Yeah, Lonnie, can we get that down in writing if you don't mind? Kane, you heard it. Witnesses?
Right here.
I just have
Yeah,
a list of
everyone
like
heard that?
things that people have agreed to be responsible for, and that people have agreed to like lead. Just a running list of just like
Reparations and stuff. We'll make our demands.
Yeah, because
priority.
we lost more than just 2 people. We
Well-
lost the entire Sinclair crew.
Mhm.
Well,
And I feel like,
me too.
Of course.
I didn't die, but I'm here.
of course, Kane, of course.
Mel is just going to start like openly weeping.
So, by all means, and we wish to make a monument and celebrate them and memorialize them. What's that?
A monument.
A monument, yes. Well, it'll be
A
erected.
statue ain't gonna feed people.
Well, it will be erected
Great point.
and bedazzled. But but no, we sent our after some ideas here. One of the ideas was to send one of our people down there with a pocket nuke and to detonate it if things got out of control, to basically enclose, if not eliminate, the protomolecule threat. The fact is that the jungle's biomass is insurmountable. We can't figure out, it goes through the whole planet. It's massive. Its roots dig through the whole thing. We know that the protomolecule can convert biomass into its own reckoning. Something of that scale would dwarf what happened on Eros decades ago. We don't want to become the next Eros. We don't want people to come through that gate and suddenly see some sort of monster. So we gave Case permission to utilize the bomb if it became necessary, and if he saw no other way out. So we trust him. He's got a lot of military experience. He served under Fred Johnson at points. We trust him, and if he detonated it for a good reason, and that bomb would not just go off for any other reason. We're sorry for the loss of your people, by all means, but I'm sure there's not a single member of the Sinclair crew that wouldn't have sacrificed themselves for the safety of the entire planet as well.
They were too noble for their own good anyways. They were annoying.
They were best friends, but fuck them. What?
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll see if their sacrifice was in vain or not once we get to the bottom of all this.
We saw the wound in the jungle heal, so we suspect that it's healed from the protomolecule infection. It's going to be able to fight it. And honestly,
You suspect. So they all lost their lives, and you're not sure if it was in vain or not.
As far
So
as
no one's
mission
checked.
goes to prevent the wound, the jungle from dissolving into protomolecule goo. That was successful. We're just not sure why it stopped exactly. As you know, scientific, we need to make sure we go through all the processes and see what happened.
Don't lecture me on the scientific method.
All right, well, you'll get your quid pro quo here. As far as the Goyotes, we've been installing thumpers around.
Thumpers?
These things that go kaboom.
I saw it in a movie once. It sounds damn. That's a good
Yeah,
idea.
we kind of.
That's a classic. That's like a 200-year-old movie you're talking about.
Mhm.
Yeah, I heard like somebody got the idea from this. It was a book series before it was a movie. I think it was.
Remember when they were
It
books?
was our Lord and Savior Kevin Bacon. Sorry.
No. It was actually Christopher Walken was in it, and also that the guy that played that one before we had ships.
There's only Kyle MacLachlan. I'm sorry.
Hard.
but yeah.
Dune. It was called Dune.
Dune,
But
classic.
yeah, they got the thunkers, and that scares them right off.
Okay. Well, let's see about that and how that would affect our experiments and make sure that the building's seismic isolation is on.
Oh, and it
on
wouldn't
top.
cause something to explode. So you can't put this on us, and you already took the blame for it.
Okay.
So
We'll take that down. This is good. And by the way, I should mention this whole meeting is being transcribed by our AI system here, and you can see there's like cameras and like it's like doing like a whole recording and everything. So everything is on the record.
But it's still not taking as many notes as Rogers is.
No, it's clearly not.
Never.
Can never be replaced. You can never replace the ingenuity of grad students. Lonnie,
And I feel like another place that we could find common ground and collaborate. We're really actually trying to track the seismic activity, and if you guys have cool gadgets that are making things shake, maybe that's somewhere we can collect. Like, you can let us know how many and what the frequency is, and we could just subtract that from our signal, and then we can work out what's the planet and what's the thumpers.
Excellent idea.
What do we get out of it? Do we also get the information on that data?
We can share with you our measurement of the seismic activity of the planet.
Okay. Yes. All right.
And you're talking about doing some computational analysis here, Chimadia. We have a dedicated computer network, cloud network up on the Cryo brand. Dr. Holston can attribute to its capabilities. We'd be more than happy to give you some time on the system.
Fine.
This is acceptable.
I suppose.
Well, listen, we got some other great stuff going on here too. But if you're inclined, unless we have other things to share, we have heard from your. He's kind of looking at his data package. I do have some information that came in. I'm sorry to have you guys, your network's isolated here. It's not extending through our walls. But your director, Director Janet Keith, this is the head of Mason's Haven, has contacted me saying that some of your other results came through recently. Looking at the, so you guys know that one of the experiments that Mason's Haven was doing was they sent a bunch of autonomous drones down into the fissures to see what's down there, and it's come back with the results have come back, and they have the data. And he says, I want to make sure you guys see the initial results of the data coming back from the drones. And he pulls it. He's like, I'd be happy to put it on the screen and talk about it a little bit if you want to.
This seems like an excellent start of data sharing.
Yeah, exactly. And it pulls it up, and the basic things start going through, and it shows that they have these small drones that the Yao Zong, who's the drone expert of Mason's Haven, has built. And they basically they kind of just threw them down the fissure, and they kind of go down and check it, scan it, and now they have some three-dimensional images of the fissures. Based on the imaging that's coming back initially, it looks like the fissures go pretty much almost through the planet, and these were basically where a bunch of dust came out of, and what amounts to what Kane, you would have figured this out. You would have privy to this. The dust that was coming out had radioactive signatures that matched nuclear weapons. So this was the exhaust off the nuclear weapon detonated beneath the surface. Yeah. And it's showing that these fissures went straight to almost the core of the planet, pretty far down, as far as the drones could go. So he says, well, there we go. We know exactly what caused it. Looks like Mace did that. Looks like we got a few ways down now.
If I remember correctly, if something nuclear exploded down there, we don't want to go down there. It could be bad for us.
So
do we have a way to not?
Yeah. So the standard vac suit will nuclear weapons aren't terribly effective in space, because vac suits just prevent radiation en masse. So it's you could go down there in the basic suits, like radioactive. Unless it's hyper intensive.
Well, it's the whole planet. That's why I'm are we gonna?
You guys could send people down there. You could send people down there. And they sent autonomous drones because they couldn't do direct communication with the drones because they have to go bend around stuff and everything. And there's too many metals and everything down there. So, but yeah, you guys could delve. I mean, that's actually an option if you want to explore that more. So yeah.
We could send some scientists down instead of security crew, and then maybe we wouldn't be popping off nukes everywhere.
I have to go onto the field again. Oh.
Look, as long as we're not going into space, I'll go down. I don't like going up.
The idea of going towards a planet's core makes me sick.
I know.
Gravity
going
wouldn't
down
be great.
is a lot harder than going up.
True. Avery, any kind of thoughts on any of these elements, or some things you want to bring up, or other topics we could talk about? Because I think right now we're at a great place of collaboration. I'd love to hear more about what we could do here in the immediate to try to show this new era of collaboration between our two organizations. Nothing?
I think that Avery, like as soon as the prospect of like going to the field and field work came up, Avery just like eyes like lit up and was like, well, I think it would be actually excellent to get some samples from the field. I think that there are some areas that we haven't even explored. In fact, if we're still dealing with nuclear fallout, that there might be some things in the interaction of those organisms there and the protomolecules in there might be having some sort of interactions. This is interesting. This could be new growth patterns. And also collaboration and scholarly work together or not together. Alternatively, whichever.
What was that?
I think maybe together. I think the goal is to be sharing.
So what I'm going to do at this point is, because we haven't rolled any dice, I feel like we need to roll some dice.
I've literally held them in my hands several times, being like, I want to roll my dice.
Dice goblin, math rocks go click clack. All right.
Hey, math rocks.
I'm going to have every person here name a specific focus that they have. It could be probably a science focus of having realizations, to have some sort of new knowledge that's been generated through this collaboration, something's been synthesized, some sort of new idea that you can then use for this upcoming idea. Okay, so who wants to start? Okay, Medea, pick your focus, whichever focus you want to do, and let me know which one it is, and roll the dice and let me know what you get.
I'm going to use biology.
Biology, excellent. Let's do this thing.
So that is a 15 with a 4 on the drama die.
That's total with your bonus? Okay. So you kind of go through the biology elements of this having kicked over. But you're, based on how much life is on this planet versus Eos having none and also being a frozen rock, you suspect that, like, if it is panspermia, the stuff came from this planet and got there. So the question is, how did it get from here to there? And you think that might have something to do with, like, why that place is so weird in terms of its gravity anomalies and all this other stuff. Like, that other planet's not engineered, it's just weird.
Yeah.
Like it has.
Does gravity tether like pulling proteins off the other planet onto this planet?
That's exactly
just like
it.
that.
They re-engineered half the solar system to shoot protein strands to the next planet. Why wouldn't you? It's by protein.
I mean, if it's not clear, God. Mel looks really fragile, like the whole time.
I almost did protein slingshot. That's really bad. Okay. Like on a solar system scale. But yes, it's that's what they like. Yeah, you've kind of come to the realization that the panspermia element seems to be the very prevalent theory. Whatever's here made it over there somehow. However, though, what you did find that was frozen was not intact. Like it was like damaged heavily. You're not sure why, but your dating on it has gone back. It's definitely like quite. We'll say like it goes back well over a few million years at least. With the dating.
I have a very far out theory, which might be totally misguided.
Let's go to our next person who's got an idea, and then we'll all share around. So who else wants it? All right, Lonnie. So what does Lonnie want to make a roll for?
I have a focus in botany.
Awesome.
So I would like to roll that because I have some suspicions about root systems.
What? All right. So I'm really curious here.
Fine.
Let's hear.
So the way that this system works is I roll 3d6,
and you add the number next to your body.
And then I add my ability and also my focus.
Just the body. That already includes your ability. Yeah.
Gotcha. And it's the 3d6 including the drama die.
Yes.
Okay. So that's 9 plus 5 is 14.
14. Okay. What theory are you working on? I'm curious now. Let's do the direction of this.
Because it was like a seismically felt thing around the planet, and root systems can, because Lotnie and also me have experience working on hydroponic farms, so she's aware of like the power and planning that goes, the power of root systems and the planning that goes around like building things that can withstand like what roots can do, since they can like secrete chemicals and dissolve things. Also, like they are pretty powerful structures. She kind of recalls this thing called erosion that's like an earth thing, but
It happens
like,
here too.
and root wedging. Okay, perfect. Root wedging essentially. And she's like, if there's such a lush jungle here, and because plants also communicate through their root systems and through mycelium networks, could they all have potentially released like a signal all at the same time to like, oh, we're all going to dig down together at once and shake the planet, like just do something to the planet with their systems.
Yes, this is a very real possibility with the way the night ivy works. It is a very large organism, like on a planetary scale. Call it macro or mega is like underrated, like more like giga type scale. There's a chance.
The night ivy on the dark side of the planet is the roots of the jungle on the day side. Is that right?
Yeah. And it's kind of grown around, and you guys have used it to like figure out what the structures underneath are. You think that it could be communicating to itself somehow. It might have some sort of intelligence, and you might be able to like tap into that, see how it's adjusted. You do know that Star's Edge has admitted to, I don't want to say admitted to, but they did. They were doing like radioisotope injections, where they were to trace the root system, using their satellite network to trace it out, and that's how they got a pretty good idea of how much of the planet was replaced by technology. Because there's just like it kind of just goes around it, it's like so that might be an idea. Okay, that's a possibility. And you also know that being able to go deep through the fissure would give you access to deeper roots versus like the tributaries of it, if it will. So yeah, great idea. I love it. Man, I love when you guys like give me good ideas, because it makes my job that much easier. That's like the best like game master thing. You guys can all speak to. All right, who else is next? Who else wants to like get some science ideas here, or have some kind of revelations?
I have my dice.
All right, do it. I know you've been aching for it.
I know. I'm doing physics.
Physics.
Here
we go. Let's do it.
What does this symbol mean? 1 or 6?
That's a 6.
Hey, all right.
And that's the logo for the show, by the way, people everyone out there. That's the logo I hand for you.
11. Yeah. No, it's awesome. These are special Abraxas Precipice dice, guys. It's super cool.
They always go high.
11, 19 with 3 on the drama die.
Okay. All right.
Turns out the 6 helps.
It does. Your revelation is this. You're pretty sure the planet can be aimed.
Gravity tether.
The gravity tether and the moons can aim the planet in different directions. How it's activated and to what purpose to aim it, but you think it can like go any direction around the sun and aim at things.
Okay. Maybe the root system helps us aim it.
Well, the root system...
It's like a reaction wheel inside the planet. If it goes one way, the planet goes the other way. Conservation of momentum.
Well, you do know that the root system comes billions of years after the thing was built to do this.
So maybe the root system is just built around the mechanism.
Yeah, the root system kind of grew around it. Like, and you also know that the night ivy can very, very slowly digest the builder technology. Very slowly.
Just because I have it, I also have a talent on a successful test. GM provides additional piece of information. So if that was a success, can you tell me one more thing?
Yes, I will give you one more thing here, Jesse, and this is going to be the doozy here. You know that there's several. This system has an abnormal amount of asteroid belts on the further out from the planets that are.
Did they aim the planet at other planets and destroy them? Are they creating asteroid belts with this planet? Why are there only 2 moons? Oh my god!
You don't think that's outlandish to think that it might have been like a Death Star type story? Yeah.
It's a Death Star with a jungle on it. Right.
Yeah. But yeah, you think
I'll
the
let
planet.
Someone else go, but that's cool.
Okay. Someone else. We got Avery and we got Kane.
Okay, I would like to do a technology role, because Avery is specializing in biocomputing, specifically using organic systems to largely hijacking organic systems to use them for computational purposes.
100%.
And I think Avery has fixated on this strange macroorganism of being like, it's got interesting behavior. It seems to have some sort of intelligence. How can I make this a supercomputer that I can use is what I am trying to figure out. And the feasibility of this.
So yeah,
and
roll tech.
Yeah. So I have the ability where I re-roll tech.
If you want to, if you don't like the roll you get, you can re-roll it.
Okay, because I did. I rolled twice, and took the better one because I wanted a higher number.
That's fine.
Cool. And then I rolled 22.
Very nice. Okay. You think this thing could have grown intelligent over time. Its exposure to the protomolecule could provoke certain elements in it too, maybe. It was some sort of like rapid mutation. You do know that the protomolecule essentially is basically like, it's a biomass computer. And this could have maybe supercharged this thing. So like all the experiments you guys ran on it a few months ago, you think it might come back completely different, if that makes sense. It's kind of a before and after, like you gave the athlete steroids. It's like this might have kicked up the activity a little bit.
Okay.
So there is that thought of it. As far as using it, it's the harder thing. That would be the challenge. You do know that what you have been working on is like mimicking it. That is mimicking its like structures and its networks and kind of the way it flows. And that has shown some promise on your guys' computer network. But you also could just go in the field and try to see if it works for real life. So there's a few different mechanisms.
I think we definitely don't have enough information to actually attempt this in the field, and I think Avery very much wants to do it anyway.
That's the grad student way.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, and last we got is I think Kane.
I don't know if this is okay because of how what everybody else is doing.
Sure.
But I don't have any of that sciencey stuff. But what I do have is I don't trust these people. I don't believe them. I would like to intimidate them because I don't think they're telling us all that they know that are setting up this little thing. Can I use intimidation? Yeah.
Let me ask you a question. How do you want to intimidate them? And who are you going to focus on? Who are you going to strong arm here? Is it going to be Holston? Is it going to be Rogers? Or is it going to be Dieter?
I mean, she's an open book. She's not hiding anything.
I don't know, because I feel like Rogers might not know as much, might be newer to this, and might be too easy of a target because you're just this little new. No, so sweet and new. But I've been bonding with Holston. I don't know. What about yeah,
the assistant? I mean, yeah, he's sitting there, he's kind of watching you guys all kind of go through your stuff.
He's already admitted to knowing more than Mel.
Exactly. That's why I'm I need to get more because I broke him down a little bit already. I want to break him down more to see. Because I feel like there's even more. Why do you want to know so much? Why do you
come over to him and he's sitting there going over stuff and he says,
Kane, shoulder check him.
What can I help you with? And you kind of how you want to intimidate? I'm kind of curious how you go to
I totally shoulder check him.
Okay.
And sorry, I didn't see you there.
It's okay. It's we're all indoors. I can appreciate feeling confined.
Yeah.
What can I help you with?
What are you looking at? What you doing?
I'm just doing a brief to send to Mr. Pope.
Oh yeah, what are you briefing him on? Everything that we've talked about, or what?
Yeah, he's getting a live stream. He's watching this. So your director Keith.
Oh, he's watching. Hey.
Hope is watching this right now. Is that what I just heard?
So yeah, you heard that, yeah.
So I'm I wave. Hey.
Okay.
Yeah. So you got all of us here, and you brought me here for a reason, and I don't think that I'm getting all the information that I need to continue with what you need me here for. So what I'm going to need you, and you've already been a little bit more forthcoming with, some stuff that you weren't, too upfront about to begin with, but I'm going to give it to you straight. I'm going to need the complete package here. I need to know what the hell's going on. everything that y'all know and why the hell you're wanting to, why are we even still here if we could be somewhere else? Like what is so important about learning about what this is, especially to you and this motherfucker up here that's watching us and can't even grace us with his presence. So I'm gonna need you to shoot it to me straight, please. Thanks.
Well, okay. Fine. Why don't, well, I could do that. Or
you could and you will.
Well, or if you would care to, Mr. Pope is happy to address you directly right now. I mean, do you want to talk to him or the boss? Like, he's like saying, if you want to talk to my boss, I'd be happy to have you talk to the boss.
He's gonna come down here right now.
Well, no, he'll be on the screen. And I will say this too, I don't think you'd want to be in the same room as Mr. Pope.
Why not?
I feel like that's a personal issue that he can explain.
Well, put him on. Let's go.
All right. He goes, Sebastian, they're ready for you? Okay. And so then all of a sudden, like in the middle of the table is this 3D hologram of this, like, you know, older, like maybe like 60s, like average, you have to realize the average human lifespan is like 120 years. So he's well preserved. He's in a suit. And he's up in space in the cryogram, which is their scientific research system, or the little spaceship that Dr. Holston's very proud of. And he comes up and you see this man. What's weird about his appearance is that his left arm is like encased in this like giant, like almost like box, like this like mechanical white and black and like blue, a little bit of blue, some lights on it box.
And we think the proto-molecule is involved, or we know the proto-molecule is involved?
In what?
In his arm case thing.
You know. So he, so you got, those Avery and Mel would know this, and so would Dieter. But we'll get that moment here in a second. And he says, Ms. Cobb, I appreciate your concerns here and have heard them all. And I've been in communication with your director, Keith. And let me assure you, I would be there if I felt it was safe for me to be there. But it's not.
It's not.
So as you can see, I am in a state of not completion. Years back, I was exposed to the proto-molecule, and luckily, due to my my research endeavors, I was able to cryogenically freeze my left arm, therefore preventing the spread of it.
How many lives were lost on your research experiment, Mr. Pope?
Well, let's see here. That one was on the Princess Visali, and I believe that had 1,400 passengers on board when it exploded.
Yeah,
although the crew of the Sinclair did manage to save about 300 of them.
Yeah, because they're good people who you killed.
I feel responsible for their death by all means, but I also think I can do a lot of good here as well.
How worth it?
How worth it is it?
Yeah, if you're losing this many lives, is this really worth it? Because frankly, all I see is that your experiments are benefiting yourself right now.
Well, I'm certainly a different man after that experience, and almost losing my life.
Medea spits on the floor.
Right. It's all quarantine. It's good. Like I said, it's just a story. They're going to come in and hose it down anyways later. But he goes, I appreciate that. And I think at the time I didn't take the threat of the proto-molecule and what it might have been as serious. Now, if you want to go have a beef with someone on that front, I would suggest you go find Jules Pierre Mal if he's still alive, or go find many of these other people that are going after it. And I'm sure Marco Inaros has killed far more than any of us ever will imagine. So if you want to keep on blaming me here for people, a bunch of other rich snobs that died on a cruise ship of mine in space, I'm more than happy to hear you crucify me for it for the next however long you have. Or we could sit there and talk about what we need to do next. But I will say this, though, and to Ms. Cobb of your security detail, the sarcophagus attached to my arm, he calls it sarcophagus, is a cryogenic prototype material rig that keeps my arm isolated and the proto-molecule frozen. And it freezes quite nicely. And it's also hooked up to my heart, that if my heart stops beating, it will detonate. So I feel that it would be best for me to keep such a thing in orbit.
Yeah, you need to stay up there. But
I'd be there with you.
Right, but where's the part? I that I'm very, very sorry for you and whatnot. and your loss of limb, or not loss, but that's great and all, but we're here and we're taking care of this problem.
I want to see this problem taken care of. I think our survival depends on understanding this planet and what it was built for. We know that on Illis, years back with Mr. Holden, or Captain Holden, and the people of New Terra, that the planets can be reactionary. This technology can still turn on. It can still do things.
What? And do you know what? And what haven't you told us?
Well, that's what I'm trying to figure out, what it can do. Dr. Holson posits that this thing can move the planet around in different configurations. And I think she's starting to come to some more realizations on what the purpose of that might have been. But so the question is, why would anyone want to do that? I don't think I need to tell you that breaking up rocks is hard work. So why not break up a big one very quickly? We know that Illis...
What if it wasn't uninhabited, though?
Yeah.
Well, from what we understand of the builders' approach is that they would, as they tried to do to our life on our planet billions of years ago, they wiped out life whenever they found it. They allowed nothing else to sustain. So... I
wonder what kinds of proteins we'd find out there in those asteroid belts.
If there are any, yeah.
And if we figure out how this thing's doing what it's doing, and we're able to control it somehow, who's going to take control of it? Because it ain't going to be you lot, that's for sure.
Well, I mean, we can talk about mutual assured destruction here quite readily if you want to. Mason's Haven has 2 warships in orbit. We have 1. The Cryo brand can certainly its stealth tech is advanced, but it's not a warship. We have a small fighter, a small intercepting ship, Martian interceptor ship, but like that's all we have. You have 2 full-blown. You have a full-blown frigate that's currently decommissioned in the Adrian Rogers, and the other one you have is Sinclair. It's still operational with being captained by Captain Nick Michaels now, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Can I, hearing the words mutually assured destruction, can I step in with my, I have a talent in, it's called intrigue, but it's like in etiquette. Mm-hmm. So I'd like to diffuse this situation.
Okay.
And just say like, no one wants to be destroyed. No one is talking about destruction beyond what could happen to our planet that we currently are on, except for you, because you are, of course, in orbit, where you should remain. But our... but nobody wants you down here. And we would like to all remain here on a safe planet. And so I have a list of agreements that I think we can move forward with. And since you are indeed boss man, let's say that what I have listed here, we can just go ahead and agree with and move forward with a field mission made up of both Star's Edge, Mason's Haven, a collaboration to celebrate our mutual sharing of resources, specifically data, and not destruction. Data over destruction. How about that?
Data over destruction. I like it. That's an excellent branding strategy.
Branding.
He's a corporate entity, dude. Give him a break. Okay. T-shirts. Okay. But yeah, he says I think this is brilliant. And I think this would go over very well. I heard you guys talking about delving into the fissures, actually sending a team down there and trying to get some more direct readings. The drones you sent down there are only so good, but I will say this: your drone tech is quite exceptional. Quite exceptional. Amazing. You guys have a guy amazing who's quite good at drones. So, but yeah, I think the only thing we could offer here is trying to we could bring down some of our heavier suits. We have like deep dive apparatus we could bring down for you. We'd be happy to lend those to you. Make sure that all of you can go in safe and such. It's derived from some of our previous combat armors that we've developed, but it's built for more field work, a little more flexible.
This is an excellent start.
Perfect. Well, I like this idea very much. But listen, Medea, we want to give you time on our computers. We will set you up with a login so you can log into our systems here in orbit and make sure you can communicate and send up whatever data you have for to be run. We'll be happy to put those on the dedicated networks. That'll help also abate the strain on Mason's Haven's power grid. The exciting thing I did want to share with those of Mason's Haven, and I'm glad to do this directly. And, Director Keith, are you on the call? And you hear like Janet Keith, who's the head of your oh yeah, I'm here. So okay. We've been reconfiguring over the last few months the centrifuges on the cryo brand, and I'm ready to say that we believe we can actually start making our own fusion pellets. This would help sustain the space travel. Right now, we have enough fusion pellets on the surface of the planet to last a few hundred years, running our reactors down there. But moving spaceships around is a lot harder, to say the least. And we knew we had enough material here between all of us to make a few trips out to the ring and back. But now we might be able to keep that sustainable. However, though, the primary issue would be getting access to deuterium, getting access to H3, and the like. And based on the results that Mason's Haven and the Sinclair provided from EOS, it seems its atmosphere has a fair amount. So we might be able to just go over there and get a little bit and see if we can start it up. But we do want to let you know that we are working on the energy problem that we all have. Because we all will sooner or later run out of energy here. I do respect...
Some sooner than others.
Exactly. I will say, though, that the Mason's Haven's one of the final activities of the Sinclair was to help deploy and build a solar array on the bright side. And you guys know they basically laid cable from the bright side out like a few hundred kilometers out, so you guys actually have a solar array on the bright side of the planet that keeps basic stuff functioning. It's not going to like keep everything going forever, but he's like, so I think we're all trying to work on the energy problems here and everything like that. But I think at the end of the day, as long as we're warm, we have shelter, we have food, I think we're going to be okay. But I think the only thing I worry about is just make sure we have exhaustive amounts of collaboration. And I see this as a proper opportunity for that to occur.
Well, if you're in, we're in.
Okay.
I say it to the...
And I will send a list of written agreements that your assistant, Dieter here, has agreed to on your behalf. Janet, I'm also going to be sending this to you, sure that all of these are met, and from there we can develop an implementation and accountability plan to ensure that all of these verbal agreements happen.
Lonnie,
Excellent.
you are a wonderful, wonderful person. And
I'm gonna like
you so
try and
much.
I'm gonna try and like fist bump Medea and be like, science. See if she's on board. Let's collaborating on science.
She's just like very awkward, like she doesn't exactly know what you're doing. Like she doesn't. Why are you holding? What is this?
Medea, you hold up the fist and then you touch it. It's not a punch. It's not. She's not trying to hit you. This is. I learned this. This is a culture thing.
Mutual respect from an Earther.
Etiquette.
Okay.
Etiquette. I was trained on this. This is etiquette.
You Earthers are weird. I don't get it.
But we agree science is cool, though.
Yes.
Okay.
I can agree to that.
That's what this is about. Science is cool, and we have common ground. Let's go do some kick-ass science.
All right. So about you guys spend a few days at Star's Edge setting up stuff like that and figuring out your experiments for a delve into one of the fissures. Tell me about what you guys want to do for your delve at the fissures. What do you want to bring? Who do you want to bring? What is your experiment on these fissures? I'm really curious because I have no clue what you guys would do with these. That's what it sounds like.
Medea wishes she could send Wyatt down instead of her, because we all know what Medea feels about field work.
I want to take like really sensitive seismographs, right? I want to feel everything. Like, literally when we sent the first robots to Mars, they had seismographs on them. It's one of the most fundamental things. And if I could get down in there and actually measure it in situ, that would be good.
All right, so some seismograph. Okay, cool, awesome. All right, I hear that.
And also, you know, like a gravitometer, so I can feel if the internal gravity of the planet is changing. I want to be able to measure that from inside the planet.
All right, we're bringing some science. I like it. Okay. I saw Kane's eyes get real big there. What?
This
Probably
is
also
so
a Geiger
cool.
counter.
I love, yes. Oh my God, what? Yes.
There you go,
Oh my
yes.
gosh, fall out. Yeah, no, I just love, like, I love the ideas of, like, real world. I don't know. I think it's so awesome, like, listening to this stuff.
Okay. I was going to ask if you, my best approach on this for Kane would you be like the Race Bannon of the group. You're there to watch the boys and make sure no one gets hurt. The Brock Sampson of the situation, if you will.
Yeah. Help lift people up and move heavy stuff.
Exactly.
But
both, you know, in their jobs, but also physically if they need it. Yeah. Okay. Lonnie.
I would like to bring my apprentice Joanna, and I think also I'm going to talk to some of the workers back in Mason's Haven's like a hydroponic technician who has experience like repairing hydroponic systems from root damage. So because we have a lot of wonderful theoretical scientists and experimental scientists here, and I would love some practical someone who's just working with these like different kinds of plants every day, has real
you can
practical
get one
hands-on knowledge.
Your technologist, absolutely 100%. Okay, so you got one of your techs coming. Okay, cool, absolutely 100%. What about let's go with sorry, I forgot the name. I got really bad with the names here all of a sudden here.
Rogers.
Yes, Roger, Avery Rogers. What's something you want
to? Avery really wants to kind of get samples of proteins and compare them from the data from before and after exposure to protomolecule.
Yeah.
That's like the goal.
How small is gene sequencing technology in this time?
This time.
Just like a pocket size, like.
It's more of like you have like a really high level imager here. It sends the data back someplace, clouds it up, and sends it back to you. Yeah.
I want a pocket gene sequencer.
Yeah, they have like.
Wouldn't that be amazing?
They have like, I know that their big thing is they have chem decks, like you can convert materials into.
Oh yeah, I think Medea has one.
Yeah, there's like chem decks and everything like that. So okay, what about Medea? What did you want to do on this?
She's packing all of her fun little stim packs and sedatives and tranquilizers, you know, her little miracle drugs, just in case, you know. They came in handy last time. She knows what it's like to go down into the earth, or like not the earth, but the planets. She has experience from EOS, so
that's true.
She's bringing
a few worlds. Okay.
Yeah, so that, and then she's just all around sulking because she's here in Star's Edge and she has to go do field work. So she's just kind of being her moody little self.
Okay. All right. So it takes about a week to prep the mission. You guys prep the mission. It's basically like these fissures are open up. They're pretty damn big. In them, there is they kind of bring out like winches, what they call winches. Winches, like, so yeah, winches, and they have like.
I mean, they might also bring out winches, but that would be different. That would be a different adventuring party.
It's
Everybody
actually
come on down.
a winch. It's actually a winch wench. It's what they call the operators of them. But yeah, there's like these winches, and they have like pulleys and everything kind of set up, and they kind of start building scaffolding around it to secure it, lock it down. There's like counterweights and everything. It becomes kind of a site. They use some of the shuttles to bring in the materials here and there, so everyone kind of contributes. And you have a pretty good experiment site set up here, no problem. So the question is, how do you guys want to handle this? Do you guys want to go? Who wants to go into the hole first? Do you guys want to send some other people in? I'm kind of curious. How do you approach this large hole in the ground? I feel like that's like the general question that Dungeons & Dragons tends to ask, but. How do you?
Medea has no good experiences with going into a deep hole in the ground. She's seen Wyatt and was like, what? So she's gonna watch from afar, like usual.
Okay. The suits they do provide for the delve, or these deep dive suits, are kind of like they're heavier suits, so they aren't just like flexible material. It's more of like kind of like chitinous kind of thing, you know, like kind of like shell like. Kane, you see one of these suits, you can tell it's like kind of derived from Martian power armor technology. It's not power armor, but it's like it'll make you a little bit stronger. You're probably bulletproof in it. but it doesn't look like the kind of thing you'd want to like fight in because you probably couldn't move very fast. Like you better be bulletproof if you're wearing
Okay,
it.
I'll just fall on somebody and crush them.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Do I have one of the thumper thingies?
Yeah, they brought the thumpers around the edges of it. They are trying to compensate with that with the seismic stuff, but they also do have like Dr. Holson has like a kill switch for them, so you can turn them off temporarily if you want to take some readings.
Yeah. Okay. I was just making sure that.
And there is security agents from both Mason's Haven and Star's Edge here with like weapons on the perimeter, kind of watching in case like some of the creatures come by and they need to deter whoever.
I mean, if it's been a week, I've asked to have a look at the thumpers. I've made a vibration profile. Like I can subtract that frequency.
Okay, cool. I just wanted to also make sure that like none of those creatures are going to be when we're trying to go down here, that they're not in there or trying to come at us when we're trying to go down there. That was my.
They are subterranean, so 100%. Yeah, and the way they describe the coyotes is they're kind of like this like bluish gray color, and they like they have this like kind of like greasy, like kind of like oilish, like slick fur, and they can burrow very fast because of it. They're called coyotes because they're kind of described as a blend of a gopher and a coyote. They're somewhere between the two of them, but they are eusocial, so they're kind of like naked mole rats in that regard. And there have been reports of bigger ones that are called warriors. We're talking like the size of like a minivan, where the standard ones are about the size of a coyote. So there are some.
Okay, so sans a Wyatt, do we have some other big person with us?
Just as a question,
yes.
have we considered the possibility of a migration of coyotes as the origin of seismic activity?
Yeah, there has been some activity of them moving around, and actually that's been one of the issues is that they seem to be migrating toward where Star's Edge is, and so Star's Edge is getting kind of nervous about that.
I'm fine with that.
I have no problems.
Are they native to this planet? And
yeah.
these scientists, do y'all know about these creatures?
Mm-hmm.
Like y'all, okay, good, just making sure.
Yeah, a lot of this, they're one of the bigger macro species. Most of the species on the planet live underground. There's not a lot on the surface, especially on the dark side, and the bright side seems to have no life besides the jungle. Okay. So, all right. So, yeah, let's hear about this mission parameter. You guys are gonna, they can lure down like up to like 6 people at a time. They can go down together. They can do it in a basket. They can put you like on a harness, like like one of those baby jumper things, or
basket.
All right.
I don't know. I've
Don't
always
put
kind
me
of
in a baby jumper.
I kind of wanted the sensation of being held by like a claw machine.
Just like dropped it.
I mean,
Seems like
would be kind of.
I'll go in a basket.
Basket, okay. So you guys they set the basket. They have it ready to lower and everything. You guys have instruments. It starts lowering you down. This fissure, they figure they can lower the basket about like pretty far deep. They know that the fissure goes down. They're pretty sure to the core. The issue is that like how far can you go down with the basket before it becomes a problem? Let's go ahead and get how far down would you guys want to go? Like 100 meters, something like that? Like further than that? 200 meters? I don't know
How far did the drones get? And
the drones got probably about like close to. They got probably close to like 30 kilometers down. Not all of them made it back though, but the ones that they did make it back like with quite a bit of information. Yeah, so they can go pretty far. I should also mention the deepest mine on Earth is 4 kilometers deep. So, just to put in perspective here, so they got pretty far down there, but they are small drones, so it's like they're not privy to.
And there's no tectonic activity, so there's no like molten core. We don't have to worry about the heat going up crazy high as we go in.
I guess there might be heat from like the air pressure. Would that be something? Am I making that up? I'm trying to do real science here in my head. So is that a real thing?
I mean, the air pressure can go up without necessarily the temperature going up.
Okay. Yeah. So you guys, the air pressure is no problem. As far as like, it's not a molten core. You guys are all pretty sure that it's like really steady cores. Okay. You guys are heading down. You get down like say 100 meters. And what's the first reading you want to look at? I'm kind of curious here. I'm going to say you guys are all wearing like the cool suits. You're all wearing like the heavy duty suits.
All right. I guess seismic, like is anything moving? Is anything reacting? Is the gravity changing?
I would agree, because if we're underground during seismic activity, that would not be good.
It seems dangerous, yeah.
We're just hanging off a cable. They'll pull us up.
Right. Okay. You check initially, and there isn't any seismic activity. You get a little bit of minor fluctuations here and there, but that could be people up top walking. It could be like some of the local creatures digging through the ground or whatever it is, but nothing like where it's like cave in or that kind of level. What's it called, a gravitometer? Is that what it is? The gravity?
Let's go with that. Yeah.
So the gravitometer comes back. It reads, so it kind of reads, it seems to be reading like the 0.95 Gs that the planet normally has. But it's reading it kind of like you see some small fluctuations in it. Like there's some small like kind of ticks in it as you kind of walk around the thing. So it's not always like
I tap the side of it a few times.
All right.
Shake it and then wait and look again.
It comes back with a few of the little fluctuations here and there. They're nothing major. Like you're talking like 1/100th of a decimal point. Like, I mean, it's like minor, but it's still there. There's something kind of fluctuating a little bit there.
Okay. All right. I'll relay this information. So who's in the basket with me?
I'm gonna say all these people with you. And
Okay.
Avery.
Okay. Avery's taking notes. All right, so I'll relay this information. There are minor gravity fluctuations happening, which means that the center of mass of the planet is not stable and still. We're not deep enough to know anything about where it is and how it's moving yet, but something.
And we saw that on EOS too. We saw a lot of different like gravitational fluctuations there.
Interesting.
So Medea is also going to try and take some samples just from the ground to try and uncover more of those proteins. She wants to get a big sample size, because if she is giving permission to use Star's Edge technology, she's going to use it.
Yeah, so you start digging around the soil under here, and you do get some samples. You can tell that the soil is active. There's like microbes in it, but whatever microbes you're pulling off the soil here, they aren't on the surface normally. So it's kind of a cool. It'll give you a little more variety, and also might be a little deeper Earth type situation.
Yeah.
I will say the gravity fluctuations on EOS were on the surface, and they were also like exponentially higher. Like we're talking like a whole half a G fluctuation, where this is like 0.0001, like really like minor fluctuations relatively speaking. So it's a whole different thing here. What about Kane or Alani? Sorry. What kind of stuff would you guys be interested in taking a look at here and thinking about?
I'm still kind of on the botany train. This might be like an unrelated question, but have we ever seen like any of the like jungle plants on the bright side sprout from seed, or are they kind of producing asexually? They're producing asexually. Okay.
They do a weird thing over there that they kind of, the best way to describe it is they call it like a trellis they grow on, but it's not like a physical trellis. It's more of like they grow along the gradients of like a radio frequency that emerges from the alien technology. They kind of use the aliens like broadcast or whatever the radiation is coming off it as kind of a way to grow as a pathway. It's really weird. But yeah, you can cut off. You guys have cut off pieces of the night ivy here, and it doesn't grow back. Like it doesn't live. It can be harvested. You can get water out of it. You guys know that you can drink the water out of the night ivy and not like get sick. Mm-hmm. You also know that a nuclear weapon went underground recently, so there's that problem. So yeah, that's we're not.
Yeah, I guess I'm just thinking about like if the planet's mass is a significant part alien technology that over time the plants are dissolving, is that changing like the center of gravity based on growth rate for different plants and their ability for the jungle plants and their ability to break things down? Like are they not replacing the mass in equal, like they're not I don't think the root mass is growing down into like this alien tech, but like it's producing upward in terms of where the biomass is going. Yeah, I don't think
I will say it is a very, very, very slow process. Whatever they're doing to get to digest the alien like builder technology, this thing is getting a lot of energy out of each bite. So it's not having to eat a lot of it. It's like it's eating nothing but like it's all super high concentrated energy, and it seems to be sustaining it. You're also pretty sure the jungle's at like a equilibrium of mass as far as like it going up there. It's not going to go much bigger. It hasn't gotten any bigger over the last year and a half. It has healed up, taken some wounds, taken some damage, and regrown portions here. But it's not like it's not going to get any bigger. It's as big as it gets. Yeah.
Gotcha. It's kind of reached the growing capacity.
Yeah. Which might speak to his intelligence as well too. So that is an element. What
and
about...
I guess I'm also just making morale checks, just trying to keep everyone's spirits up, and also just keeping an eye on any kinds of developing conflicts or trying to keep an eye on tensions between the crew members.
Medea, gotcha.
I'm gonna channel. Sorry, can I jump in for a second?
Yeah, go for it.
I'm gonna create conflict. No, I'm gonna channel Kane, and just thinking about this. Is it organic matter or is it not organic matter? Let's assume I said I was going to bring a magnetometer with me,
okay, sure.
And check the magnetic field. Is the magnetic field changing with these gravitational flux? Are they correlated? Are the signals together in some way, or no correlation?
There is no correlation, but the magnetic fields are, at this point, are doing some weird stuff like fluctuations, and they seem to be regular. The fluctuations.
Okay, but the gravity ones aren't.
The gravity seems fine, yeah. But the magnetic stuff's doing some weird. It's not like a high level of it, but there's something there.
I'm going to tell Kane this. Hey, Kane, guess what? The magnetic field is actually fluctuating in a really regular way. That's an added piece to the puzzle.
That will blow my mind. I'm going to tell Rogers, write that down. Write that down. So if it turns out that it has something to do with that, do I get my name on something?
Oh, we'll call it the Cobb effect.
All right.
As long as it doesn't make you uncomfortable, because the whole configuration makes me deeply uncomfortable.
No, we could name a town after me if need be. Statue and kidding. I'm just kidding.
All right. So Kane, what about you? While they're going down in the basket, what do you want to be doing?
Threat assessment, structural integrity, just making sure that where we're going to be getting out and doing stuff is safe.
You look at the winch and or the winch, excuse me, and it's going, it's working okay. You're kind of operating it here and there, checking for it, make sure it's not hitting the walls and everything. You can give me a test here. Give me your choice of you have seen or hearing or anything like that. On your sheet there. Let me see what you got here.
Is it a focus?
Yeah, they're a focus. Yeah.
Survival.
Oh, survival could be good. You can do survival. Yeah, that's a good one.
Survival and driving, I think.
Yeah, do survival. Let's do survival.
Okay. So I roll all three of these.
All three dice, and add them up, and add your survival, which is the +5.
Okay, so that's going to be 10, 12.
12. Okay. Yeah, you're this far down. You're mostly just trying to keep the whole thing on track here, as it would be. Okay. However, though, all of you, as you guys are going there. Let's see here, which one of you would it be? That'll be fun. Okay. Medea, as you're heading down, you see you have your suit on and everything like that too, and you have this big dome kind of glass helmet, think diver thing, and all of a sudden this clump of dirt just hits you in the face, not in your actual face, but in your face helmet.
Yeah. So she's gonna shriek and stumble back, which is yeah, it's fair, but it's also probably a little dramatic. But she's already not happy to be here, and the fact that the dirt fell on her out of everyone really is just yay. So she's just gonna shriek and stumble back against Kane.
So you guys hear a shriek over the comms.
Sorry, I don't think there was any rock in it. You're all right? Sorry. I didn't see.
She's wiping her face.
Everyone's gonna hold all of their senses up to the dirt.
Oh, she's check it. Do you see this?
Looks like dirt.
Yeah, it's a kind of this clump. It's a dirt claw just hits you, and it's
well, why is it falling? Everything's been stable so far.
Hold up the seismic thing. I don't know. Do I put it against a wall? I've never actually used one. Let's assume I put it against the wall.
Maybe it's got a little laser on it or something. I don't know. Okay. When I go take measuring, my laser measuring tape. Yeah. Okay. So we just call it. We have a generic name for science instruments in this game. We call it science stick. It just does science. I pointed at something that does science. But yeah, you put it up against you put it against the wall there, Mel, and your seismic fluctuations are going up. Like, yeah, there's like a lot of fluctuations, like a lot of rapid little ones here and there.
Okay, is it in one direction or all around us?
It's like going from one direction. Like you surf around. There's one direction. Yeah.
Okay. Is there anything about that direction that I know? Like, is that towards the jungle or?
You look at the map and everything like that too. I mean, if it is, it's way on the other side of the planet. But like, I mean, it's a few thousand kilometers out. Like, going around it. You don't know.
Every line of sight on the planet eventually hits the jungle.
This is true. Yeah, it's a good old geometry. Yeah, you just kind of like, you're just hanging out and like, there's nothing special about that direction or anything like that too. You guys see Mel getting kind of concerned, like pointing like the seismic reader there on the wall.
Okay, guys, readings are increasing in this direction.
So we're going back up, like right now. Now.
Let's wait and see what the readings do.
Let's wait and get buried in this random hole. Changing?
I mean, there's clear sky above us, right? We're not like
you can see all the way up to the top. It is the dark side of the planet. So there is some you can see like the floodlights up there, but you guys are like a few hundred meters down right now.
Well, I just got hit by dirt, so imagine this multiplied by like 1 million, and we're all buried and dead. So I think we should go up.
We've got like a rope, safety rope.
Well, we've got comms too.
Yeah.
If we need to.
That was a good
let's
comm,
call someone.
So Kane, you're sitting there, and all of a sudden, like several, like you can, like some dirt starts falling, you get like hit by the dirt clod in the head.
We're gonna suffocate to death.
It's not like a lot. It's just like a little, it's a clod of dirt.
No, Medea's gonna dramatic.
I assume Rogers is getting like samples of the dirt.
Yeah,
they were gonna bring this whole kit, right?
Kane, give me a seeing test. This is just perception straight, so just roll your perception. Roll 3d6 and add your perception.
I have seeing too.
Yeah, well, you're focused on the walls. That's the difference.
I'm seeing the wall.
Sure.
Inners. Can't handle a little dirt.
18? Okay. You take a look up and like you see some stuff, like you see like probably a few dozen meters up, you can see that the walls are kind of like moving.
Okay. Do you got a reading for that? Because I can see it with my eyes. You
have like flashlights on you have like lights on your helmets and everything. You can light it up. Okay. You light it up and you can see on the wall there's like 3 or 4 coyotes crawling along the wall down towards your location.
Ooh, can I shoot them?
My
yes,
God.
you can shoot them.
I have my taser.
All right.
I'm ready.
Tasers in this game are a great way to get through power armor. Okay.
The reflexes. Coyotes. I shoot him.
Okay, technically you actually do have the rifle style thing, April, so you actually get to make an attack before you even roll initiative. So go for it.
Okay, what do I do?
So you roll. So you have a.
Wait, and the coyotes rolling initiative.
Well, you haven't rolled initiative yet.
You're gonna die.
So you get to jump on. You basically on your sheet has weapons. You have rifle. You have a +5 to hit. So roll 3d6 and add 5 to it.
Okay.
I have tranquilizers, guys. It's gonna be fine.
Okay, that's.
Do those tranquilizers work on the alien biology? Is the question.
10 + 5.
Well, we can try.
15.
15 to hit. Okay,
Yeah.
you hit. So you're gonna roll 3d6 plus 3 damage.
Oh, that one's cocked. Okay. That
As
is
you-
going to be 10 plus
3.
Yeah, 13.
13. Okay. So you guys, you see Kane pull up their rifle and starts firing at one of these things. All of a sudden, one of the bodies of this thing just falls, slumped on the thing. I don't know. Let me see what I have roll it. Okay, we'll have Medea. Medea, make an acrobatics test.
Oh
This
no.
is dexterity.
Okay. Acrobatics. It just dex. So I'm like, oh no.
Oh no.
Should never left the office.
Got a 13.
But you got 13? Okay. So you guys see like Medea, like the thing kind of rocks, and Medea like grabs onto the railing before getting thrown off the side into the fissure.
Wait. She didn't get thrown off, or she did get thrown off?
She grabbed the railing. The safety railing did the thing it's supposed to do by being safe.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Do we have a way of like clipping ourselves to the safety railing?
You guys are clipped to the center of the rig.
It's
So
Instruction 101 is.
you guys are clipped to the middle of it, but this would be more of like she'd be dangling off the side of it type thing.
Amazing.
She'd be the she'd be the science.
I think the bad things should keep happening to Medea because it's funny.
I love how sadistic you get, Jesse.
It's
It's so
like
much
karma.
fun. It's so much
Karma.
fun. All right. Go ahead and everybody here roll initiative. If, you're just going to roll your dexterity. So just roll 3d6 and add your dexterity to it.
So initiative, the focus is different because I have initiative.
Oh, you use that instead of just your dexterity.
Okay.
Get a big number.
Oh no, not really.
Kind of, sort of.
12.
12. Okay.
I got 2 twos and a 3.
Okay.
On the die, but I did get doubles. That's that you said that I get stun point, right?
It doesn't do anything on initiative. Initiative is considered a passive roll, yeah. What'd you get, April?
12 also.
12. Okay, we have kind of 12. What'd you get, Medea?
Oh, I thought I was dangling.
Oh, you get initiative. You get initiative when you're dangling.
You still get to do stuff.
Yes.
I got a 14.
Get to dangle.
Okay, you got a 14. Okay. Yeah, you seem more motivated than anybody to do something.
Not die.
Go right.
What'd you get, Marcy?
I got a 12.
Oh, man, 12 is
my
the
God.
number. You
How
guys,
are we all, like
That's,
three of
that's
us?
3 of us.
That's great.
guys the devil. Okay. All right, so top of the initiative, Medea. So you're standing there. This thing fell on the thing, almost knocked you off. You can see that there's guns up. The gun is entirely deafening because like you guys have the suits on, so it's like filtering the sound for you. But you can see the flashes as Kane is like lighting these things up. What do you want to do, Medea?
I'm gonna try and get myself back up. I don't know. Can I like
You can stand
hold
up.
myself?
Yeah, you stand up.
Oh, yeah.
You can
stand
like
up.
you can secure yourself if you want to, like really like hold
Oh, she's
on.
like strapping herself in as
Okay.
best as she
All right,
can.
so you-
She has like a tranquilizer in one hand, her taser in the other. She's like, "Come at me, bitch."
Okay, do you want to be holding on to the railing, or do you want to hold both of those weapons in your hand?
Oh, that's a good point. She'll like hold on to the railing and she'll have her tranquilizer.
Okay, so you have like a syringe. Okay, so
Like
she has
like you know how she used to talk about those like
yeah, she got a spinal
those
tap.
giant needles? She has like the spine tap needle.
Yeah.
Like she's ready.
Okay. The old sample. Yeah, we call it the sampler. All right. So, Kane, your turn.
Excuse me. So there's 2 more of them.
There's 2 more you see. Yeah.
Can I radio the people above us and let them know that bogeys are incoming?
Yeah.
And I'm gonna shoot another one.
Okay. Yeah. Give me roll your attack roll.
Okay.
I can't forget turn.
10 plus 5.
This was
So
a turn. 15. That hits. Any doubles?
No.
Okay. So yeah, you hit roll 3d6 plus 3 damage.
All right, that's going to be 9. It's 12.
12. Yeah, you dust another one. Another one goes flying off. This one.
Oh no,
Oh.
so sorry. Incoming!
This one falls, and Dr. Holson, I need you. I need you to make a strength might check.
And it would have been funnier if it was Medea again.
You get a plus.
No, I
2.
think this is karma.
So go ahead and make a strength check. I'm going to give you an additional plus 2 to this because you have the suit on.
Oh yeah, because I have 0 for strength. Oh, but I didn't do too bad. I got 11 on the dice,
Okay, so
and I had 2, 13.
Okay. So yeah,
That's what I got.
This thing falls on you, and like it kind of stuns you off for a turn. You're gonna lose your action this turn, but like you don't like go down basically. Okay.
Okay. I also have quick reflexes where I can like ready an action as a free action in case I can get my action.
Okay, that can help out. Okay. Depends what kind of action we do. Let's go to our next person, which is gonna be Lonnie. I'm sorry. Keep on thinking my tattoos like my tattoo artist thing.
No worries.
Lonnie, what do you want to do here?
This is not combat related, but and this might be
if it's happening in combat, it is. So yeah.
this might be just like my D&D brain and how I think about
Sure.
the skill investigation.
Mhm.
I'm curious if like the readings, I just kind of want to like look up and around to see like were the readings that we got right before we saw the coyotes, the seismic readings, were they caused by the coyotes, or did they precipitate the coyotes coming? Like, did a seismic event happen and then that caused the coyotes to move, or was the seismic event
You suspect the seismic event was them moving around.
was the coyotes? Okay, cool.
Yeah, they're moving around. Yeah. Do you want to
Cool.
do anything? That's easy.
I'm gonna help Dr. Holson stand up if they're
Okay.
like knocked down, or just kind of like steady them.
Okay, so you steady. Okay, so you make sure they don't fall over the edge. Okay, cool, great.
Yeah, exactly.
Mel's turn. You're standing there. You can either move or you can do an action. What do you want to do?
Sure. Do we know if they are perturbed by sound at all? Like, is there a pitch, like a high pitched sound that they don't like?
It's the low drumming, that low kind of like that's why the thumpers work on them, because that low like a subwoofer type thing kind of messes with them. But like if you start hitting them with like some opera singing, they're gonna be cool with it.
I'm gonna say that Mel thought for like 2 seconds about like punching the wall with the same rhythm as the thumper, and then was like, "That's probably gonna be worse if the dirt starts falling down, so I won't do that." I guess I'm just going to keep monitoring the readings because I don't have a weapon, so I'm just going to I'm going to make sure that there's nothing coming from any other direction, right? Like that's the only coyotes.
Give me a seeing test then and see if you see any more. You kind of try to spot them.
3, 8, 11, 16. And I got doubles, but one of them was the drama die. Does that count?
Yeah, it counts. Yeah. So you can use that to get a little more information. So basically, you look up and you can see that like there's only one more kind of coming down. You can see there's more way up there, but they're not like they don't seem to be as aggressive. You're guessing that these ones are like they're kind of testing to see if they can get after you.
Oh, okay. All right. I'll relay this information. This is just the advanced force.
Yeah, you guys are they're like the test taps of like, and you guys are the pinata.
But they're above us. You said above.
Yeah, they're above you. Yeah.
Okay. Is it clear visually whether if they pulled the basket up, we would just get past them, or are they going to stop the basket?
It would be a struggle. I don't know how good your winch is. We'd have to see how good your winch is.
How good was the winch wench? Who brought it out?
How much winch could a winch wench if a winch wench could winch? I don't know. But yeah. Okay. All right. Their turn. One of them comes flying down and like land. It jumps down and lands on the thing, and Kane, it goes after you. It tries to claw you. Kane, it claws you.
Oh. John Cena, you can't see me.
All right. Kane, you take a whopping 10 damage. So you have like on your sheet you have a thing called toughness, which is yours is 7. With this suit on, it would be actually an extra like maybe like an extra like 5 or something like that. So you actually take like 12 less damage from the hit, so you actually don't take any damage. The thing like scrapes at your suit, and like you can see it scratch your suit, but you don't take any actual damage.
I'm wearing suits. My toughness is 3.
Same. Yeah, you're not as tough. Like you can feel like you just know how to take a hit is what it comes down to, Kane. You know how to actually take a punch. Like these other ones.
He got a Yaogui scratch.
Yeah. Right. These ones would just like these guys are just like peanut butter and jelly behind you. You're the hardened crust of the group. So okay, Kane. This thing
save us, Kane. Save us. Our only hope.
This thing's right next to you, and kind of like you can snarl. You can see where it kind of they've started evolutionary wise. Like it's theorized they started developing eyes, but very subtly. They don't have really good eyes, but they have really good. It's thought they have good sense of smell and like kind of like awareness of stuff around them. But yeah, you can see this thing's like there, and it's got its claws. It looks like they start trying to claw and bite you next turn. What do you want to do?
And these things are not intelligent life form. Like they're.
I mean, it depends on you define.
Like we can't communicate with them.
Like,
we're not friends. Like
no,
we haven't tried to communicate.
They don't negotiate.
Okay, I was
just
making sure. Okay.
No,
I was like, before I kill
you ask that after you shot them.
Yeah, my question to you: if a pack of coyotes attacked you in the wild, would you feel bad killing one? Is kind of the question. This is not dissimilar, so.
Yeah,
go over it so it makes you feel better.
I'm just making sure now that I've whittled them down to 1, I can't talk to them and be like, hey, did you do this?
No, they don't have, they're not that involved.
Okay. No. Okay, cool. Then since they are right up on me, I'm not going to use my rifle. I will just like try to
slug them.
I'm in the eye.
Sure. Yeah. All right, so give me an unarmed attack roll. So you get a +7 on this, so you have a really good unarmed attack. So give me the 3d6 plus
17.
17 hits, 8 doubles?
And I did get a double, yeah.
What's your drama die say?
They're both 3.
Okay,
so 3.
So you can do a little extra. You can basically bypass their armor with that roll, or you could actually I'll give you a better one. You're gonna do a knock. You're gonna push him back. So roll a damage, roll a d6 and add +4 to it.
1d6.
Yeah. And add 4 to it, yeah. As you uppercut this thing,
10.
And I'll give you an extra +2 because you're suit on, so you're 10. So it's roll. So you actually like uppercut this thing, and like you knock it over the safety rail.
Punch it.
And you guys see it like, because they have like that greasy skin where like it's an oil they kind of emit. You see it kind of slide down the side of the fissure. leaving like a streak of this like kind of like bluish gray.
Nasty.
It, you know,
Hey docs, have y'all studied this stuff before?
you have many samples of it back home.
All right. Well, if you need
could be
more of it.
useful. That could be very useful in terms of a cave-in. If something were to happen, Dr. Medea, if something were to happen, we might want to have this substance around to help us grease us and help us work our way up.
Needs to be up woman. Sorry, I gotta do the freaking groundskeeper Willie thing.
Mel just goes white. Like,
Yes.
just the idea of having to grease yourself up with the coyote. Bleh.
Yeah, Medea's pretty much on the same boat. She's
I'm fully
not
ready
an
to-
outdoors person.
I'm fully ready to improvise. I'm looking around, like, immediately once these things are done, I'm like, resource. What can we use from them? How can we best turn the situation?
Well, I
Yeah,
guess
So
Medea
presumably
would,
fresh meat if we get stuck and we have no food.
I guess Medea would be like concerned in the chemical uses of like what their grease can be used for pharmaceutical wise, but so she can like collect a small like scraping sample. But
Just like mid-fight, the scientists are like,
yeah, well, I mean, she's just like,
yeah, just gonna grab this real quick.
Hey.
Did they say anything up top when I like?
Yeah, they
radioed?
bring it down and say, yeah, don't worry, we're gonna try to up the thumper rate here. We're sending Dr. Holston the updated data calibrations. Basically, they're gonna keep the thumpers up into high gear up there. Is what they're gonna do.
Okay. Right.
And Kane, you this is probably like the. I mean, you're in the double digits of things of these you've killed over time. So you just want to make a mental note, to put another notch in your belt when you get home, because you don't have access to your belt right now because you're wearing the suit. So.
I don't have like the tattoos, like the
Oh, you have tattoos?
marks or something.
Okay.
That'd be-
All right, little tick marks. I like it. Okay. So yeah, you grease this alien. Get it? Okay,
It
that's-
didn't
that's-
grease us
You said-
unless we wanted to.
Yeah.
For escape purposes.
So you keep on the basket keeps on going down and down and down. They have a limit of about how far they can get you down without having to like go and start doing like they can get you down about like 500 meters, they figure, before they have to like go up and like do some recalibrations up there. But you guys go down to 500 meters. Do you guys want to like keep on going further down? Do you want to like call this a day on this part, or what do you guys want to kind of think about in terms of like going down? The seismic readers are going up. The gravity flux, the gravity shifts are slowly shifting. The best way to describe it, like Mel, is like it's like it doesn't make any sense because it feels like the gravity is getting like almost lower down here. It really is like, it's not like a rapid rate, but it's like it doesn't make any fucking sense. Like the whole thing.
Like if one of the moons were coming above us and like the center of gravity was moving up, like that kind of slow.
You guys are not. The moons won't go directly above this position.
Okay.
Because of their you guys are
I
off.
have a concern about the flammability of this grease, and I think we should go home right now.
It's not that. I mean, it's not that much of it, but yeah.
I'm
So
trying to find excuses to go back.
Yeah. Are all three of the original advance force of Coyotes down?
Yeah, they're all around.
Okay.
Yeah. And then no more came after that. Yeah, they have the thumpers.
I'm gonna like do this to Kane's shoulder, just like.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
You
and then the thumpers are dealing with the
Yeah.
reserve force.
Yeah, and I would have like told if y'all didn't hear it on the radio already that they're doing that. So yeah, that's what I was doing.
And with the seismograph, can I see the activity dissipating?
Yeah, you see it dissipating.
Presumably.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lonnie, what do you got?
I was just curious because I am more sensitive to gravity, but I am also in a very like mech-ish suit. Can I, just as someone who grew up mostly without gravity, like, can I feel any difference?
Give me a perception
like,
test. Give me a
physical
roll
things?
perception. Yeah, roll perception. So just your ability perception. I don't have like a sense gravity skill. So.
Okay, that is.
Definitely would not be smelling. You can smell gravity to be trippy.
I have an 11 on that, and then a double 3.
Great. Okay, and that include your perception.
My total is 11.
Okay, gotcha. You can feel a little difference, but like it's not much. You think it might just be the suit, and the suit's like helping prop you up and everything. The gravity feels pretty easy in it.
Can I ask Lonnie how she's feeling, considering I feel
Sure.
like Medea's had some experience with like Belter.
Yeah, physiology, sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's gonna turn. She's like, "Do you notice anything?" I feel like if anyone would, you would.
Through the suit, I can't. Not really. Not as much as I would without it.
Medea looks visibly disappointed.
Well, luckily, I'm one of the few that gravity drugs didn't impact as heavily.
Yes,
Ooh.
that's a great thing.
All right. The thing keeps on going down, and you hit the 500 meter mark, and it kind of slows down. You're checking your instruments here and such. The seismic stuff's going okay. They're saying they were taking them about 2 hours to get the winches. I keep on wanting to say winches. The winches ready to like lower you down further. They have to add more cable. They have to do some more stuff like that. Check all that stuff. But they can have you guys hang here for 2 hours and wait them out. You guys willing to wait, or do you want to like check some other stuff?
I'm kind of down to wait and see like what else we can measure since we're already down here.
Yeah, I don't think Medea is going to be up for going down any further. Since the magnetic field is fluctuating regularly, Mel wants to analyze that at the time, right? Like, is the frequency related to any of the other frequencies that she's already measured about the system?
So the magnetic, you do know it's originating from down in the center, or closer to the center. However, though, it doesn't align with like, it's off with the geometry of it's off. Like, it's not originating from like what should be the center of the sphere that is the planet. It's like off a little bit. Like it's off like not like beyond like a standard deviation. It's like it's almost like the center of this magnetic thing is like not the center of the planet.
Sure.
Does that make sense?
Okay. Can I triangulate from my one position?
Yeah. Yeah, you take a second to triangulate it, and you pull up the maps that you have on the planet, and you can see where the structure has been on the planet, and it looks like it's in the center. It's towards what would be more of the center of the structure that's been rebuilt on the planet versus the actual like whole sphere.
Right, and the fact that there's magnetic, like we think this is dormant, right? Except for the seismic activity we saw previously. So the fact that there is like regular magnetic activity, like something's happening.
Yeah, I mean, it isn't like a high level amount of it. Like, it's not enough to like mess with everything and make your data pad glitch out or anything like that. But it is regular enough that it's noticeable by the instrument. So it comes off that like there's that like something's just, for lack of a better term, it's like someone just left like the thing in standby.
Yeah, I was thinking like a life support sort of mode or something.
Yeah.
Is it in the direction that we lost the crew?
Yeah, I mean, you guys knew they went underground on the opposite side of the planet, basically where the ruins were. They took like the route that was already open. You guys are going through the route that just opened. So you guys are coming the opposite direction of where they are. But yeah, it is coming from where you guys think they would have last been. And according to the reports of the survivors, they would have gone. They apparently went. The survivor report said that basically they jumped to these tubes. And these tubes like came to life and kind of carried them somewhere, but they didn't come back.
Ooh.
So there's some sort of transport system down there. It's unclear if it's still active or not, but there was a few things on. There was a few things turned on.
Okay.
So, let's go to Kane. You're sitting there and you notice like a little like green plastic thing in the wall. Like it's kind of like up against in like into like the dirt or the broken rock. About yay big. Okay. You tap it and it tumbles off and falls into the basket. It looks like a drone. It looks like one of the little autonomous drones. It's like it's a little tiny thing.
Right, because they didn't all come back, right?
Yeah.
Found one.
Yeah.
Does it have a recording? Is there anything we can watch or download, or?
It should have like some sort of data center on it. Yeah, I mean, you could try to plug it in and see if you can. You do need to power it back up, but it doesn't look like it's not powered.
Okay.
Do we have the ability to do that down here?
You got all the USB packs you want.
Yeah.
So you plug it into your suit, it powers it up, it kicks back on, it powers up, and you can start pulling the data from it. Yeah, it has a lot of the data you saw from the other ones. It looks pretty similar to that. But like as far as like, what would you guys want to look at on it? I guess is my question.
I mean, did it take any recordings or data that it didn't get back to us? Right, like some of them made it back and some of them didn't. Is there any new information on it about what it saw deeper down? Any of the readings it took? What instruments did it have on it?
Who's got technology here?
Oh, I have my data pad probably.
Well, I mean the actual like the skill technology. The focus.
Oh.
Okay. All right, Lonnie, give me.
I think Rogers also had it.
Rogers
has it,
does.
but give me this. Lonnie's here, so let's have Lonnie roll. I feel like Lonnie needs to roll.
I don't have technology, but I was going to say I brought a technologist down with me.
Oh, that's true. You brought your assistant.
Oh, she brought her intern.
Right, so your assistant goes through it and starts digging through it and says, "Yeah, the only data on here that's new is, I mean, it's just like it's like last shutdown moments. It didn't. This isn't. What the hell is this? It starts pulling up and says, it was trying to like network. It was trying to do handshakes. So basically, it's saying that it was trying to connect to another network, like another data network while it was down here before it shut down.
Whose other data network?
That's what it said. It was getting like initial handshake data, but like it couldn't complete the handshake. It looks like but it kept on trying to do it over and over again.
Yeah, is there any information like IP or domain or anything about what it was trying to do?
It couldn't get. Basically, it's saying like the other thing was it could detect something initially, but then it wouldn't follow through, so it couldn't really get all the information. But there was another network.
Well, I'm wondering kind of about the radio frequency that like the ruins give off that makes the plant roots grow in certain patterns. Like, is that possibly connected to the existence of something that gives off any kind of like signal or network?
Well, I'm sorry, so you're trying to see like if there's any kind of what kind of. It looks like it's definitely trying to connect to like a network, like that's a human network, like technology. So it's not like it's trying to connect to alien technology. It's not something. It was trying to. It's going through the initial protocols of handshake, but it just couldn't connect, whatever it was. I mean, you guys have had that. You're on the edge of a Wi-Fi signal. You can see the network being connected.
So do we?
Kind of like that.
Do we think the drones would have just been set up to auto try to connect to anything, like my iPhone?
Yeah, they would have just been scouting for something. If they encountered something new, they would try to do it. Now, I should say,
do we know how deep was it when it tried to do this?
It looks like it failed here, about 500 meters down. You do know that some of them went further, way further down than this. So like,
okay, so this one didn't go down and almost make it back. It got stuck at 500.
Yeah, I got stuck here.
Okay.
Can we
There's no other networks.
But it looks like it ran out of power trying to connect to the other network.
Like my iPhone. Yeah.
Can we relay that information to the people up top?
100%.
See if they can try to find whatever it was trying to connect to from up there? Or
yeah, you can send it up top. Yeah. And your assistant helps with this line, but like it's they only have so many good tools here, so they'll send the data up the cable literally goes up. Okay. All right.
Now I'm just wondering, like, could it have been trying to connect to, like, if the survivors got transported through, like, tubes through whatever ruins there are, could it have been trying to connect to someone's, like, network on their data pad as they, like, shot through the planet or something? Like, could it have been trying, like, oh, I pick up I pick up a survivor signal, and then all of a sudden that signal's gone because their survivor has been transported through ruins?
Yeah, that's why I was asking if it went down to the center, because we know that's where they last were, but they would have had to come up to here and then keep going.
Yeah.
I want to know the effects of a protomolecule on this kind of stuff, because these protomolecules, they transport like faster than the speed of light, but they travel through waves. So I'm trying to see, like, what if the protomolecule tried to travel through any of these networks? What if like the protomolecule being down there and
the protomolecule networks are more of like it opens up tiny wormholes and then opens up another wormhole on the other side. They talk to each other through the wormhole.
Yeah, but like, does it get interference, or will it sense these kind of like other?
Maybe it's theorized. It certainly can like create radio signals.
Yeah, exactly.
That was on arrows. They could do that. So, but as far as creating an ordered network to connect to that protocols and work with, that's a different story. That would be pretty advanced for it.
Okay.
But yeah, good question though. Okay, you guys wait 2 hours. The dive keeps on going. Keep on like going further and further down. as you do, let's say here, figure out here, Medea. You start getting like you guys get down probably like about like 2.5 kilometers down. You guys are really deep now. Coyotes have been. It's getting weird down here. You're starting to see more of the night ivy. Much bigger chunks of it, like these huge like vines of it, versus like the kind of the smaller piece you see up top.
Okay.
And you're also starting to see a little bit more of kind of like occasionally you see some metal in the wall. You see like embedded pieces of what looks like it looks like it's like metallic, but it looks like the inside of like a seashell. You know, the kind of iridescent look of it.
Yeah.
It's like that. But like, and you know that's like builder tech. That's what it looks like. It looks like the metallic, iridescent kind of like layered, like a seashell thing.
Right. Desperately trying to just read everything and take readings of everything. Yeah. Avery is like burning a hole in the data pad.
Can I like try and scrape at the wall to try and like take it?
I mean, only if you want more clods of dirt to fall on you.
Well, this is builder tech, and frankly, I am willing to suffer through a little bit of dirt for access to this.
You dig out a small piece. It's like a chunk. It looks like it was embedded though. Like it got shot up and into like the rock. There's probably some debris. This area is starting to get more radioactive. You guys' like Geiger counters are going off, and it's coming off with the radiation is like relevant to like a nuclear weapon.
Okay.
But it's not like if you guys took your suits off, it wouldn't kill you. It's not gonna feel good. You know, you're gonna have a bad night, but it's not enough to like it's not over amount. Like you're not like at ground zero or something. Okay, all right.
You're not gonna turn into a Guyot.
No, no super mutants. All right, so you go ahead and you keep on. You guys kind of take a second there and think about the gravity readings are getting more like abnormal. The way that it's going, it feels like. Mel, you have a hunch. You have a hunch.
Cool. I like hunches. Tell me my hunch.
How many gravitometer? What was it? Gravitometer? Gravitometers did you bring with you? Just the one?
I mean, if I'm trying to triangulate, I brought 3.
Okay, so you brought 3.
Pointing in 3 different directions. I'm getting all axes into space.
All right, the radiation caused you to grow a third arm. You know you can hold 3 now. But you go
I'm gonna get. Lonnie will hold the third one.
So you.
I'm very tall.
She's got such long arms.
So you kind of like take a second here, and you start seeing that like the way it's going, it feels like there's another source of gravity. There's like 2 sources of gravity on top of each other, and you're starting to kind of come to the point where it feels like eventually one will take over what you're doing right now. Does that make sense? Like one's gonna become the dominant gravitational force, the other one's gonna win out over the other one.
So there's 2 vectors.
Yeah,
and they're changing.
You're slowly kind of shifting on them. You're going more towards one of them. It seems like the one that you're going towards is centered with the builder tech. The other one's like the planet as a whole.
Okay, so something is shifting in the planet.
Well,
very slowly.
And you guys are just approaching closer to that juncture.
Oh, are we moving? I thought we were still just hanging out.
Oh no, you guys got done hanging out a while back. Yeah, you guys are still going down. You guys got way further down.
Okay.
And then Medea, though, as you stand there, though, you get like you start getting like your data pad starts like vibrating.
Okay, I guess we'll check it.
Yeah, and you take a look at it, and it says it's trying to make connections. It's trying to connect to the network.
Okay, can I allow it or help it?
Yeah, it keeps on saying it's losing the signal inconsistent, but it keeps on trying to reconnect automatically.
Okay, so she's gonna walk around. You know, when you're like trying to find a signal, you have to walk around the entire house.
That's you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do we have any way of boosting the signal?
Yeah, I'll boost her up.
Like Lion King.
Can you
not while we're in a basket,
and then you'll be like 12 tall.
Over the fissure. Yeah, over the fissure. Yeah. Yeah, you kind of take a second, move it around a little bit, and you open up like the dialogue on the thing and more into like the settings and stuff like that too. It says like it's trying to connect to it's trying to sync up with like the Sinclair's network.
Okay. Medea, I guess she's gonna like just pause for a second, just like a brief wave of emotion before she's just like she's trying to connect. She's trying to She wants words with McMichaels.
Can we broadcast a signal?
Yeah, you can broadcast signal, yeah.
Oh yeah, transmit this signal back up.
Yeah, you're
Well, I
Oh,
meant more like
broadcast.
try and make contact. If there's someone,
Yeah, like talk
if
to
it's
the
someone with a
Sinclair.
handheld or something that
Right.
has a network, can we try to actually?
Yeah, make a technology test. This would be intelligence technology.
All right, I think we have Lani do that, right? Because she has technology.
Yeah.
I do not have technology.
Oh, that's right.
I have
Avery
my-
has it.
I have my-
We have
We
Rogers.
have Avery do
I'll
it.
Avery do it.
Rogers is doing
All
it.
right, Avery does it. Avery boosts the signal. So Avery takes a second and like kind of taps it in
This
and
is
plugs it back
grad
into
stu-
it.
The young kids know the tech
know,
better,
yeah,
right?
they
She
all know
just
shit.
muscles someone out of the way and grabs the data pad and is like, no, no.
Yeah.
She's just
Grumble,
getting
grumble.
frustrated watching everyone else try and like figure things out.
No, you
Yes.
have to blink, not wink.
She's on the tic-tac-toes these days. That's social media stuff, right?
Did you know that? Oh, never mind. Sorry. Tic-tac-toe. Did you know that most people play tic-tac-toe wrong?
Yes.
Is it wrong?
Yeah. You only get 3 of each or 4 of each. And you can't
yeah.
have more than that. It's the whole thing. Sorry, anyway.
Okay.
So you,
This is like Uno saying that you can't play draw fours on top of each other. It's like, no, Uno, you're wrong. You
Yeah.
can play draw fours on top of each other.
Yeah,
Sorry,
so,
John.
or Monopoly's rules against flipping the board. You go ahead and you kind of take a second and boost the signal, and she's like, "Are you letting her? Are you gonna let her use your data pad, Medea?"
No.
No.
She can
Okay.
use mine.
Okay. So she uses yours. Yours doesn't do anything. Like it isn't like. But Medea's for some reason is trying to connect to the Sinclair network.
Oh no, she really doesn't want to.
Can I use persuasion? Can I use my communication skill of persuasion?
Yes, you can try. You can try to persuade her if you want to. Make your argument and then roll your persuasion.
Do I need to roll something?
No.
It's not an attack roll.
Okay, so you're trying to persuade me, not
I'm trying
Medea.
to persuade you. Listen, Medea, this is so we've established data over destruction, and we've also established that we're moving forward all together in the spirit of collaboration.
We're all in the same
And,
basket, man. We're all in the same basket.
We're in the same basket. We're all on the same ledge. We're like 2.5 kilometers underground together, and for some reason, your technology, your data pad is the only thing that's working right now, and for this particular thing. And I think it would be so incredibly helpful for everyone, not just us, but potentially like everyone above the surface to get this crucial data and to see what's going on right now. So I think if you wouldn't mind using your data pad for this purpose, I'm sure it's already backed up to the shared cloud, and we can absolutely I think it would be really important to see what happens now.
I think it would be easiest if she just told me what to do. Respectfully, Lonnie, last time I shared data with someone, Kiv took all my information to Star's Edge, and now they're trying to take credit for my work. So I think in the name of collaboration, I should just learn a new skill, and Rogers can just tell me what to do.
Okay.
Don't worry, I have in the agreements that I have written down here that you have your name first on all research papers that will be coming from any data that you collect and any data that we will collaborate on. So this
It's
sounds
not
like a
just
great
my
opportunity.
name, Lonnie. It's the whole principle.
I totally understand, and I want you to be able to stand on your principles. I think that's incredibly important. And also, we're all standing on a ledge right now, on the precipice of
Oh, that's the word.
together. We gotta stay together in this. And currently, your data pad is the only one that's doing this really cool special thing. And I think that you should just connect with it, see what happens. You're a
In the
scientist.
sense of connectedness and togetherness.
Maybe they can swap data pads. Medea can have a go with Rogers, and Rogers can have a go with Medea, and then it's like
I don't want Rogers doodles.
Oh no, I accidentally shoulder check Medea just by accident a little bit to see if she'll drop it. So that they can...
And then I'll use my
Medea
very long
defends her
arms
data
and
pad with her
acrobatic skills
life.
to catch it.
I mean, Rogers can walk you through it, but it's going to be a lot of like no click start, no see how in the bottom left, yeah, move further
I get it.
there.
I get it. Everyone else close their eyes. Rogers does nothing without my permission and without my supervision. All of you.
And I
Eyes
can
shut.
be here to also supervise. I'm essentially
Eyes shut.
Okay.
Well, what if one of the guy outs come and it attacks you? If I have my
Then
eyes
I will
closed?
yell, and then you will open your eyes.
Wow.
I have
How
my
about I just
seismometer
face that
set up to
direction?
beep if something happens.
I'm just gonna
Alright.
face that direction.
Face the wall, whatever.
Okay.
Fine.
So you
So
face
be
the
it.
wall. And
Mel really understands scientific integrity and is going to cover her eyes as instructed.
Is this what they
Mel
call
gets
a
it.
double blind study? Just
yeah, Avery comes over and like, okay, this is
Lydia's like hunched over, like she's
Okay.
blocking
kinda
everything
goes
with her
through
body.
hooks it into like the power source and hooks it up kind of like a makeshift like antenna as going into it and says, okay, range. She's like typing in code. She's doing stuff you don't know about, like you don't understand what she's doing, but she's like typing in code, like she's running the Matrix here or something. And so
And
like
Medea's gonna like constantly ask her what she's doing after every single step.
I'm trying to use the signal to see how the distance of it and try to calculate the distance to the actual location of the item so we can figure out how far it is. What's that?
How?
Well, we use radio signals and the speed of light, and then we kind of triangulate to go through like all this like tech shit. And
I have my eyes closed, but I can still hear that you're really asking a lot of questions that might be like stopping the progress of this, and what you're doing now is actually going to prevent you from your data pack sooner.
I need you to stop.
Wow.
Respectfully.
Okay, Medea.
I think they're making their way forward.
All right. So eventually,
Lani and I will play tic-tac-toe incorrectly.
Incorrectly.
on the figure walls, yes. So she goes through. It takes her a while, and she goes, "Okay, it looks like about this is about 280 meters down. It seems like the signal's triangulating down somewhere there. Like there's something down there. It's trying to talk to."
Is it the Sinclair?
It's not the. It says it's the Sinclair network, but not the.
Well, then we need to go down.
Okay. All right. Well, keep that handy. And like she kind of puts on a thing there and says, "Just watch this number, and I'll tell you how far it's away from it. But as we get closer, it might give us more information."
Fine. Whatever. Fine.
Okay. Just watch the little bar. If the bar starts going up,
I'm watching. I promise I can watch
I
something.
want to get to it's green.
Okay. Goodness.
That means good. We were in red.
I get it.
No,
I get it, Rogers. Thank you.
green is good. Green is good. We're moving forward. Our planet is covered with green,
So you
beautiful light.
you guys start descending, and as you do, take samples here and there. But yeah, the signal starts getting stronger and stronger, and eventually, like it comes up and it says like, it basically says in queue, waiting for permission to connect to Sinclair network.
Mission from them.
From whatever on the other end of the net, whatever it's trying to connect to, yeah.
Can we ping them like a request to
They would have got if they do have a data pattern on this kind of network, they would have gotten a request. Whether or not they're going to answer is a different story, but like, yeah, there seems to be some sort of like request queued up there. Yeah, 100%.
And how far are we from them now?
You guys keep on going. You guys are about 100 meters out. You're getting closer and closer. The signal's getting stronger and stronger. It's definitely and Avery's like kind of wants to like. She wants to mess with it more. She says, I could do more and like, hack the Matrix here and tell you more about it, but like, you're clearly not gonna let that happen. So, you guys just keep on getting closer and closer. As you do, you kind of zero in and you kind of come to some areas where there's more and more of this like metallic debris. There's more and more of the debris. It's getting bigger and bigger chunks. And eventually you come up to like these large pieces that are like kind of embedded into it, where you're actually starting to see like, it looks like you're in a part where it's less of like cracks in the rock and it's more of like flayed open metal. And some of it's starting to kind of flake apart, like the metal's starting to flake off here, like it's heavily damaged. The radiation signals here are pretty high. They're not going to kill you immediately, but they're going to make you have some trouble in the whole replicating your cells in the future type deal.
Good to know.
If you took the suits off, but you guys are in the suits.
Oh, okay.
Yes, we're in the suits.
Yeah.
Get in the suits. Okay.
We'll just go up into space and stay in orbit and be cryogenically frozen. It's fine.
Popcorn.
Just have a giant like white coffin thing on each limb.
Yeah, that's fine.
I mean that is like Pope's technological specialty is cryogenics. So, but yeah, you guys kind of this thing. There's a huge metal like kind of structure in the wall, and like the signal as you guys kind of go past it, the signal starts getting a little bit weaker. So like you guys seem like zeroed in on a part where it seems like there's like a big signal coming through it.
And it's can we knock?
Sure.
Yeah,
You
just
knock
like
on it.
anybody is gonna start like trying to pull stuff out or something.
that's-
That's too straightforward.
The stuff kind of like takes a knock and like it makes a weird sound. It doesn't sound like metal. It doesn't sound like rock. It's also kind of disconcerting to hear the noise. But like it does, you do knock on it and like it. I mean, it makes not like it makes like a kind of a muffled sound, if you will, compared to what you expect.
Okay. Do we have any other vibration, magnetic, gravitational? Is anything else happening right here besides this signal?
You're getting stronger. You're getting that gravitational shift is like starting to happen further down. You can tell. The magnetic stuff is still pretty consistent, like that hum. They're seismically, it seems pretty stable down here. Actually, a little bit more stable than it was up further.
Okay. All right. We might be past the coyotes.
Yes. And you guys are so far down, like you're not going to feel the surface, the thumpers or anything. But yeah, the signal's like coming through this thing here, this kind of metallic piece, and it's kind of flaky. Like it seems like it's like, think of like.
Does it seem like it's structurally doing anything?
No, it's just still. It's that kind of iridescent. It's dirty for sure, but like it's that iridescent, kind of multicolored metal that the builder tech has. But
Like
this
mica?
one, yeah, kind of like mica, but like it's also kind of like it looks more like like the inside of seashells.
Oh yeah,
where it's kind
mother of
layered.
pearl.
Yeah, that mother of pearl stuff. But then like what's weird though is the layers are starting to kind of peel on it. Like it's not as solid as it once was. Like this stuff is like, I mean, really hard to cut through.
Has stood billions.
But like Kane, it looks like, I mean, you think you could reach out and peel it back.
I'm gonna do it.
All right. So
Kane, can you get us through this?
Are you gonna punch it or you?
Shoot it!
Can I? No,
punch?
well, I gotta punch it first.
Okay, you gotta punch it first.
Then,
We're gonna
I
work
don't
our way
know
up.
if there's flammable stuff down here. I don't want to explode us.
Fair, very fair.
But yeah, you guys, there's been there's no like methane or anything like that too. There's no cracks in the rocks.
There were pockets. Was that some?
That's the other planet. The other planet's got a lot of methane on it. This one's clean.
Okay.
So you go up and you kind of punch it, and like the stuff like where it's kind of peeled up, just kind of brittles off. It just kind of like falls. Some of it falls down the fissure. Some of it falls in the basket. It's quite beautiful, but like as it hits the basket, it just shatters like into a bunch of little pieces. It seems really brittle compared to like how tough you normally see it is. Somehow it's become brittle.
Wreck-It Ralph it.
Right, so you start taking the grips here and you start like pulling it back and like punching through it and ripping it up. And if you guys have a crowbar, I'm gonna assume.
I was gonna say, do we have anything where we can just like pry it?
So you start prying it back, and as you do, the signal like kicks up and like goes like full green, like you have a direct line of sight, and you can see that like there's this kind of opening behind like this kind of like material, and it looks like kind of like a conduit, like almost like a conduit, like a big like thing you'd crawl through or something like that too, like a tube, a pretty good size, probably about like 2 meters in diameter or so. And what's weird about it is like as you open it, you can see that inside it's kind of glowing. There's like a slight orange glow coming from the inside of it, like a really calming light.
Calming. Better than
a really
coyotes.
calming orange light. It's not like a harsh orange. It's like a kind of a pastel orange, if you will.
Is that like a light source for any of these things that are growing down here, scientists? Is it like a thing?
I don't think that
You tell if it's a sodium lamp or not from here.
Right, yeah. I'm like, is it a specific kind of like...
It's more of like the as you peel back the wall of it, you can see into the wall of the whole thing, and the wall inside of it, the thing is glowing. It's not like a light unto itself. It's like the whole wall is glowing. This kind of like weird panel structure or whatever it is.
And my data pad is still reading a higher signal there?
Yeah.
Okay. Do we want to try doing a broadcast or try and pick up
Well,
anything else?
you can look into it further, and you guys just have peeled it back before if you want to look, if you want to look up and down the conduit. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean,
Is
Who's
it
gonna-
sorry? Is it
into-
vertical or is it
it's kind of in a
horizontal?
weird. It's kind of in a weird like angle. It's like a I don't know, 45 degree, maybe a 30 degree, 35 degree.
We're not feeling any kind of vacuum from it, though.
No, there's air down here. Yeah.
Yeah, I
You
just want to
just
make
peel it
sure we're
back.
not let it get sucked in.
Oh yeah, no,
Yeah.
you
Feel
found
like a bank.
Yeah, it's a bank tube. You're gonna be a check. Yeah.
Well, maybe I mean
Straight to the room.
weren't the sorry the team that got lost, didn't they report getting sucked into tubes and carried away?
Yeah. More of that they entered the tubes themselves and got sucked through them, but yes.
Okay, guys, this feels like a tube that one could get
I
sucked
feel like
into.
this is exactly what happened.
Yes.
Do we have a dead coyote body in the thing with us that we can put into the
You
tube?
do. Yes, you have. It's Kane's trophy, but yes.
I told you that we
There's 3 of
share
them.
the dead bodies.
Lonnie, yes, keep the resources. Kane, can we take one of your ritual sacrifices and put it in the tube?
Absolutely.
Okay, we're gonna put the coyote in the tube.
We are.
See what happens.
So as you kind of pick up the coyote body and put it towards it, like the thing doesn't get brighter, or it doesn't dim or change lights or anything like that too. Do you want to look down the tube before you just start throwing your trash into it, or like? This is a big place. Let's throw our trash there.
Let's do it.
I mean, do we have that drone that we powered up? Can we
Yeah, you can put
send
the drone in there. Yeah, you can send
Yeah,
the
yeah.
drone in. Okay.
Let's just send the drone like 10 meters down
Okay.
and then 10 meters up.
Okay.
Be like,
The
is there
drone,
anything?
the drone goes in real quick, and you can see it through your data pad as it comes up, and like it goes down about 10 meters, and as it does, it comes into like a part where like the orange glow kind of turns into like a yellow glow. It kind of starts losing the red, and you can see that like the glow of the yellow is a lot brighter, and it seems to be like there's like something in the middle of the tube. Like, there's like something like you're not sure if it's like stuck. It's not touching the sides, but it's showing like there's like something in the middle of the tube.
Okay. Is the light changing or was it orange
just
before and is now yellow, or is just a different
more
part of
like
the tube
as
is
it-
yellow?
As it goes down the tube, then it starts turning yellow.
Okay.
Like it changes to that part in the lights there.
Can we get a close up of whatever the thing is in the
Yeah,
middle? Is it further?
okay.
Yeah.
So as
If
you
it's
do, you
further
move
down.
the thing into it, and as it comes up to the point that's yellow, all of a sudden the drone goes like it kind of like whirls out like something like hits like it hits something or another, and it suddenly kind of like just kind of like lodged in a place, and like it's trying to run its fans to like move itself and everything, and it can't move.
Sure.
Like it's like stuck, held tightly.
Okay, but like levitating in the middle of the tube still?
Stuck against the wall.
Or did it get thrown against a wall?
It's not throwing against the wall. It's not stuck. It's just like hovering in the middle of that yellow glow, kind of like whatever was being held there in the middle. And all of a sudden, it's like signal starts to like its signal diminishes, and it just kind of like ceases out. But like you do get some images of like it's looking at like it's looking at something like it's really up close to whatever's stuck in the middle of the tube.
Yeah. Before it got stuck, what did it see?
And you go frame by frame, and you can see that like it looks like carbon fiber. Like carbon fiber looks. Yeah, it looks like carbon fiber. It does not. I mean, and like you would guys see back on like at the base or anything.
Right. So it's not necessarily builder tech then,
No.
if it's carbon fiber. Okay. So this looks like it's something from us.
Yes.
Ooh. And now we've just added to it with the drone.
You threw your junk in there. Yes.
Yeah.
And we go,
Okay, but it could have been a dead coyote. All right, so whatever the field is that's capturing things seems like maybe the sort of thing that could have, although it's keeping things still, it's not shooting them away.
It's like holding them in. Yeah. I mean, you could try to lower a rope down there, or try to.
I think we should dip like half of a coyote. Like we lower half of it and then pull it out to see what happens.
Put our junk in there. I thought
Hey, we pull it back out.
Trash in there. That's all I'm hearing is to throw a trash in the tube. That's all I'm hearing.
It's not trash. It's one of Kane's trophies.
Yeah, it's very valuable.
We don't want
And
it
yes,
anymore.
according to Lani, it's an important resource.
it's a resource that can be used
You're
for
killing me.
experiments like this.
Exactly.
I've
Kane,
killed plenty of these.
Do you want to just dump the body in there?
I'll
See what
chuck it in there.
Right, chuck it in.
Eat
Okay.
it.
The body goes down and tumbles. It hits that. You kind of do you want to watch it as it goes down? Like stick your head through?
Yes.
Okay, so you
Yeah,
managed
the
to
drone
tunnel
was-
through.
Keep saying that like it's gonna be a bad
It's- I know.
thing.
You have to
No,
decide
the
to
drone
see
was
it.
fine.
Lonnie,
I can stick my head
All
through
right.
because I'm the longest
you are
person
thin.
here.
Yeah, you are.
Oh,
you are,
that's
true.
you are lanky.
I'm
Yeah, so
long, I'm
Organic
thin.
material.
So you-
I feel like it's a weekend.
Lonnie, you go and you watch them dump the coyote body down there, and it's something just kind of stalls up, and it's like in that yellow area now. It's kind of stiff and just kind of stuck there. You can see that like, there's something else down there, bigger, about a little bit bigger than the coyote corpse. But yeah, there's just something down there, and it's just sitting there floating, doing nothing. It's not that far down. I mean, you guys have like ropes and stuff down there if you want to try to retrieve it, but
Y'all, there's something stuck down there. I don't mind going to
No.
retrieve it.
Okay.
I actually have
No.
I have my small drone that I just
Okay.
have. Can we send that up?
yeah, sure. So you send the drone up.
So we know what happens when stuff goes down. We've done the scientific experiment. We did it twice. The same thing happened twice. What happens when you go up?
All right, so you start going up. Once again, it has that kind of orange glow. You go up for a
This
while.
time, if we see something, I don't want to get too close.
You start seeing as it goes up further, you see a yellow glow, and you can see there's something stuck. There's something once again stuck in the middle of it.
Okay. So this time, I want the drone to come back.
The drone comes
because
back.
That's my pet
personal.
drone. Come back.
That was not crash.
Yeah, that was not trash. Okay,
By
so
sending Lonnie down there, are we calling her trash?
Well, depends how you treat her.
Wow.
Tie a rope or not.
I'm the
So we can't
only
go up.
belter here,
Oh yeah,
like on
Medea
this planet.
loves belters. I don't know what you're talking about.
they're your best customers, right?
I mean,
No.
okay, so we can't
Medea-
go up and we can't go down necessarily.
Yes.
Unless we potentially get this thing unstuck.
Is there a switch?
I know.
Is there anything that looks like it would
No.
change the state of the
No.
lights?
No.
Okay.
I'm down to do this if someone claw machines me.
There you go.
Oh, there you go. You
That's
get to live the
what we do.
dream. This was the dream to get claw machine. It's
I'm
going
a
to
plus
happen.
5 in
Alright.
free fall.
So you.
Lonnie, respectfully, you are very tall and very lanky. I feel like it might be difficult clawing you up.
It's really not like Lonnie. This,
Oh,
like
okay.
for the belters, this actually going through a conduit of this size actually feels much more at home. Most,
Oh, perfect.
Most belters have extreme agoraphobia.
Yeah, I'm
So-
very much. I grew up on
Okay.
the end of
Yeah.
the station.
Right,
I
right.
prefer like my small
Okay.
spaces. Being
Yes.
underground like this is actually way more comfortable for me. So
So
I'm pretty happy with this.
Who do you want?
Fascinating.
I'm guessing I'm just gonna default it that you're gonna have Kane
Kane.
lower you down because you want the big tough person to
Kane,
hold the other end of the
Would
rope.
you- do
Yeah,
you
yeah.
mind-
Can I send my magnetometer with her?
Do you want to have both hands free to pull whatever's down there up, or do you want to like?
I'll just hang it off a belt.
Okay, I hang on. Okay. The magnetometer starts going kind of berserk as soon as it gets into the field. It starts doing weird stuff. Like it's coming back with all these readings that don't make any sense. Lonnie, you get lowered down there and you start coming down to it. So basically, you come up to what amounts to like the coyote corpse on top, and it's just kind of sitting there on like it's just sitting there, kind of hovering in the yellow area, just kind of waiting. What do you want to do with it? Do you want to pull it out? Do you want to like try to move it, or do you want to push it
Can
down?
I try to push it?
Yeah, you kind of push it around the bigger object in there, and your arm enters like the area that's yellow, and nothing happens to your arm. Like it doesn't like stop or cease it like it did with the drone. But all of a sudden, you kind of move the thing around, and as you do, the coyote kind of like comes loose a little bit, and it starts tumbling a little bit down further. But it stops then a little bit. It stops short, so it's about like it's between the wall and whatever's like in the middle of this thing.
Can I just want to see what's in the middle of this thing.
So you kind of have your flashlight in your hand, and you look at it, and it looks like a human body.
Great.
Like intact, like a complete human body. It's got like it looks like he looks like he's a man, male, probably about like 6'2", you know, a few hundred pounds.
Does Lonnie recognize them?
Can I
Lonnie,
check the
yeah,
vital
you see him. You remember seeing him you've seen him around. Yeah, you're pretty sure you think it might be one of the crew of the Sinclair.
Oh. Can I check for vital signs just real quick?
Well, the two.
He's only mostly dead.
Well, okay, so you go down there. You go down and you grab one arm. One of the arms is not organic. One of the arms is like it's made of like carbon
Oh
fiber.
my god.
The other arm though is like organic. You want to grab the organic arm?
Yeah, I'm gonna grab the organic arm and I'm gonna try to take a pulse on it.
So you grab the organic arm, and as soon as you do, it starts like it still floats in there, but it starts kind of like it's no longer lodged in the space it is. It can now kind of move slowly as you pull it up or down. So it's gonna be pretty easy to pull this thing up.
Okay.
You want to try to take the time to try to grab a pulse off of them?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna shout to everyone like, I have a human down here.
I think
No longer
Medea's,
stuck. Checking for vital signs.
I think Medea's gonna give a little scream because she's been thinking the worst. She thinks it's like she thinks it's the Sinclair that's down there. She's gonna start screaming like, "Pull them up!"
Okay. So you check for a pulse. It's hard to check for a pulse through your arm, through the suit.
Oh, my whole suit. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the body doesn't have a suit on that would show its vital or have some vital signs.
It has like a it is wearing like riot gear.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's wearing like some combat armor.
Well, I'll grab the body and it's like lift.
As you do, the yellow light kind of like subsides around it, and it turns orange, and it starts kind of like easily. It's really easy to pull it up here. Okay. You guys pull up and you plump the body down onto the basket. Medea, actually, all of you would recognize him. You recognize it as Wyatt Thompson from the Sinclair.
Oh no! I feel like for what.
And he's
Wyatt's not even her favorite, but she like kind of crumples to the ground next to him, and immediately she has like her med kits too.
So
I feel like
your med kit. Like you have like your stuff that can actually read vitals off of them. You come back with a check on her pulse. Initially you get nothing back, but then you get a very slight pulse. Like there's a very low.
Medea has her stim packs.
Okay,
Can you?
You chug the
He
stim pack into it.
specifically said that.
Yeah, you chuck the stim pack right into through the body armor into the chest, and like it starts to kind of come back, and you can see the metabolism. Like your readers are coming back with like the metabolism kicking back on and everything. It wasn't that he was dead or anything. It seemed like he was just kind of like stasis. Yeah, like kind of a stasis circumstance. Yeah.
Oh wait, I shouldn't have woken him up until we got to the surface.
And you're coming back, and like the Geiger counters are going like there's a lot of radiation down here.
I was gonna say there's a lot of radiation.
Well, I mean, he's already suitless.
Well, at least if you have a low metabolism, it could not be hell, but I don't know.
Can we grease him?
Grease.
Yeah, grease him up. Grease him up.
Okay.
We got stim packs.
Right.
We got whatever Medea's doing. She's trying to protect Wyatt.
So you have like blankets. You guys put some like protective stuff on him and everything. Trying to coat him up here, but yeah, he's like unconscious.
Lead aprons, like at the dentist.
Lead aprons, yeah. You hit him like he's at the dentist, yeah.
I want to say Medea's probably like hysterical, basically, and she's practically throwing herself off the ledge to try and see, like, because there was another thing blocking the top, so like there might be someone else on top. So she's like immediately like, "Go get them, go!"
Just like that.
She's like hysterical.
Me?
Yeah, you apparently. Apparently you.
Yeah, you.
Oh.
All right. Well, let's just say here, you slow, like you take some time here and you check these like tubes, and you end up like pulling out 4 bodies over the next like few hours, and it looks like it's the crew of the Sinclair. All of them are like have low, their like metabolic rates are low, everything's low. It looks like whatever they're in, they were just being held in like a stasis in these like tubes of some sort.
Almost like traction, like they were in traction beams, just chilling.
If that helps you, sure. But like, yeah, like.
But we're not going to actually like stim pack the rest of them, right? Is that going to save the rest of them for the surface?
Yeah, let me check on that.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Wyatt was the one who gave away her data, so you know what? She can experiment on him.
He deserved it.
He deserved it. Yeah.
All right. So
we have enough of us to carry 4 bodies with us, right?
Well, you have the basket. You're in the.
They're in the basket.
Yeah.
We're just putting them in rows.
Yeah, he's putting them in rows. Yeah. You guys are protecting him up, and you get some signals there, and people you signal in for like emergency evacuation and everything to get out of there. But Lonnie, as far as you go up and down, you only see 4 bodies. There's still 1 body not accounted for in this whole thing, and that would be the Star's Edge security officer, the lead. Merrick seems to be missing. So.
Oh no, we couldn't find it.
Oh
That's a
man,
shame.
well, look at the time. It's
Look at
getting
the time.
late.
It is getting late.
Was he the one you were specifically trying to leave behind?
No,
Okay.
We
No.
currently,
but well, she would have kept looking if it was one of the Sinclair that was missing still. But since it's a Star's Edge, she's like, well,
and we
I
have
think we've
four.
reached
We currently have
capacity
four
on
people.
basket. Yeah, we've
We
reached
have four
capacity.
people we need to take care of. I think we
oh
should.
man, what a
We can always
bummer.
come back.
Well, look, you guys delved in. You guys came together as a team. You recovered the Sinclair team. You got some science done. You learned some secrets about Mundos.
We collaborated.
You
We
collaborated.
collaborated.
But most importantly,
Eventually.
we got our goal tonight. We were trying to raise $500 for Rules in the Kitchen. We managed to get $525. It's very cool. Thank you everybody that donated. We're gonna go ahead. I'm gonna keep those donations open, so if people want to do some late donations, I got some other cool stuff on there, such as like instead of the PDFs, if you want to get the game with me, that's a great way to do it too. I got some gift certificates to my store, Cauldron Tower, if you want to get some cool shirts or everything. But I want to thank everyone for doing this. First off, I want to thank Anne. Anne, I'm sorry, Anne. I act God. Gotcha. So we appreciate you stepping up here and coming to play with us, and just was not Thorsted otherwise apparently tonight. So we appreciate you coming by. April, I've wanted to play with you for a while. I knew you jumped in this one a little. You weren't sure what you're getting into with this one.
Yeah, no, this is fun. It was great. Thank you so much for having me on, and I'm so glad that
Kane was amazing.
I'm glad, and I wanted to make sure you guys.
Kane was so fun.
I was like, I wasn't sure how it was gonna work, but I was like, oh, all of the scientists, and then.
But I feel like this is the perfect addition to what we
Yeah.
needed.
Yeah, you
Imagine
gotta
who was gonna fight the coding things if you weren't there.
Yeah. And I mean, everyone's favorite character is like, everyone's talking all technical and Amos just comes in and is like, rah, 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 rah. And everyone's like, oh, see, yes.
Did you think about magnets?
Fair question. Fair question.
I swear to God, April, that is the classic meme question to ask a scientist is, have you thought about magnets?
Marcy, thank you for coming by. I know this is your first time you streamed a game. I think you said. How was the experience?
It was great. This is my first time getting to play as a
Okay.
player in the streaming thing.
Okay.
I told you in my introduction, I am a DM,
Mhm.
and I do environmental justice focused games for mostly youth in the Oakland area. So I'm used to DMing things, and I love being a player. So this was fantastic, and I've never played in this kind of in this system before, and it was really cool.
It's an easy system.
Having the drama die and stuff, that's awesome.
It is a fun thing. Yeah, people like the drama die. Plus, it's just fun to say drama die. But yeah, thank you so much for being able to take your time and come out here and play with us, and hang out with us, and hopefully enjoy the hard science game.
I always do.
The real treat I wanted tonight, and behind the scenes we've been talking about, was to get both Samria and Jesse on camera, because the two scientists, we saw a lot of there's very different approaches, and they're both very big personalities. Yeah,
That was a lot of fun.
That was really fun.
Yeah, so that was a lot of fun to watch. Either of you have any comments or about my super science game here?
I did have to, in my head, I did some retconning of Mel's story after she went on that whole rant about Sebastian Pope and then found out Sebastian Pope was listening. In that 6 months ago, after that all went down with the Sinclair, she stormed into his office and had it all out, and he convinced her that he would fund all of her things and let her build all the spaceships. And so she's annoyed at him and she hates him. He knows she hates him, but she's there for the science and the money. So I had to build that scene in to be like, oh, this can't be the first time he knows that she hates him.
No, he understands he's not a popular man. He does understand that. He's actually quite familiar with that.
Right.
And Sim,
he has enough ego that he doesn't need anybody else.
No. Sim, what about you? How about any
Oh my
comments?
gosh. I had so much fun. This was like a whole new cast, but I like how we still got to mention the Sinclair because I miss them so much. But everyone was so fun. And then I liked the little part about how Mel didn't like Pope either, because Medea hates these big corporations. So she's just she hates Star's Edge. And so seeing Dr. Holston was kind of cool. She's like, oh, okay, so they're not all bad, but she definitely try and recruit Holston to Mason's Haven.
I did like the 180 from you could come and work with us and you'd have all the science support, and then 30 seconds later you're like, I have no funding or equipment. Can you
Well,
help
that's
me?
what science is it not? Like, that's basically like my real life experience.
Yes, we never have
but-
enough money.
Yeah, but this was so much fun, and I'm so grateful that I was able to come back and play.
Very cool. All right, guys.
Thank you so much, John, for pulling it all
100%.
together and
It's
for
always-
raising
it-
money.
It's always a pleasure, and it's always good for a good cause. And World Central Kitchen's been great, and they do notice the game. They have contacted me before, and they're super grateful, and they do good work, and we appreciate all that stuff. So, but all right, anyway, hey, everyone at home, thank you so much. We're back next week with the regular cast. We're picking the story.
They're not dead.
They're
Yay!
not dead. They're not dead.
Oh, Medea's gonna hold that over their heads forever.
My original plan of this game actually was to announce to have that we were starting up the new phase, but then to have the game start and be none of the actual cast. So it's like the season we had the cliffhanger last season, and then we go in the new season and everyone's thought dead. And so like I was gonna do something really dramatic but like I decided
That was so incredible. That was just like
it's just like I gotta name the names and it helps the promotion, trying to get people out for the cause.
Totally.
So it's like it's such a trip. But anyways, guys, all right, man. Well, we'll see you all. We'll see you guys next week with a new episode of Abraxas Precipice, the main cast. Everyone, thank you so much for hanging out with us. You all have a good night. Take it easy and later.
Everyone.